the stream to catch up and get started. Because there we go. There is a slight delay. So, yes, I do need to change over all the stuff on screen. I am super late getting over to this, but I just had a great time over on the Wrestling Escape Pod. If you're not watching the Wrestling Escape Pod, get over to that channel, man. It is so much fun. So I hope people really enjoyed that. Wrestling Escape Pod was a movie special tonight, and I know many people joining us now will have just been over there. It is the podcast that we do every week, and it did overrun this week, so apologies for that. But, oh man, it was worth it. I absolutely loved it, and I hope that you lot enjoyed it as well. There's a lot of wrestling talk at the moment. We need to talk about Becky, and we need to talk about Ric Flair, because that is getting quite a bit of buzz at the moment. So Becky was on the Ariel Helwani show, and she said that she saw a tweet from Ric Flair and decided to not fire back to it, because basically Ric Flair was saying that all the choreography in the world wouldn't save Becky if she got into like a real fight with Charlotte. And Becky said she saw that and she just felt really sad for Ric Flair. Just like he's dug himself into a bit of a hole recently. I don't know, man. I mean, Ric Flair is not part of WWE at the moment. And business is business. And maybe they could have spoke about this behind the scenes. If this is all a work, it's one of the greatest works ever. Right? It's because all this has done is put more fuel onto that Survivor Series fire, because Charlotte is going to be fuming. She is going to be apoplectic with how angry she's going to be. Because basically, Becky is talking about all the allegations and, the stuff that came out from Dark Side of the Ring, where Ric Flair kind of forced himself onto one of the air stewardesses. She's kind of bringing all that up again, and it can't be a work. I don't know why Ric Flair would ever want that to be brought up again. I mean, not that it's really settled down, but it's settled down from when the show was on. I mean, it was bad. It was bad for Ric Flair. People are saying that, he should face charges for it, and which, it's hard to argue. If he did it, then it's hard to argue. Obviously, there was a big fallout as well, because Tommy Dreamer defended Ric Flair, kind of saying, I think he was saying he didn't quite believe it, or didn't believe it went that far. He ended up losing his job as a result of that. This thing is, this isn't a thing that you joke around with or really use for heat. So I don't think this is a work. And for Becky to say that she didn't have to. She easily could have found a more political answer. She easily could have found a better way out of it. And instead, she turned around and said, he's jealous of me. He's dug himself into a hole, and he's trying to use me for a bit of clout, which is sad. And it's oh. I mean, I looked at it, I was like, man, did we do a video on this? But it's just a continuation of kind of what's been happening anyway. I mean, I suppose, does it amp things up? I suppose, but I still expect Charlotte and Becky to be able to work together. I still expect them to be able to work together this Sunday. But Survivor Series, I mean, I don't expect it to fall apart and become a shoot fight. Not at all. Not at all. But I do think that that's a very interesting comment from Becky on the Ariel Helwani MMA Hour show. It's a big comment, because I don't think that's a work. I don't think that's a work at all. I think it's way too serious for it to be a work. The stuff that he's alleged of, you don't turn that into a wrestling angle. So he's tweeted something about that to Becky too. I saw, he tweeted back saying how disappointed he was. And he attached a picture of an article. I thought it was quite a weak response, actually. He tweeted back saying how disappointed he was, and the fact that he was disappointed in Becky because he sold his rights to the man and being the man. To be the man, you got to beat the man. He kind of sold that so that she could have it. He didn't stand in her way. He didn't deny her from being the man, because he claimed that he had like a rights to it. If that had gone to court, I'm not so sure. I don't know. I don't know if he ever really owned the man. Can you own the man? Is Ric Flair known as the man? I mean, I know he's got the saying, to be the man, you gotta beat the man. So in a way, he is calling himself the man, but he was never known as Ric the Man Flair. Like, he was never known as the man. So, I don't know. You know what those lawyers are like for WWE. I think there would have been a very good case there, but I don't think they wanted trouble. I think they're just like, oh, it's Ric Flair. Ric Flair being Ric Flair. Give him some money, and he'll shut up, right? But now Ric Flair's like, I sold that so that you could have it, and all this. It's like, let's tell the truth here, shall we? Let's tell the truth. I don't think you were ever the man. I think, like, if you've got a connection to it, it's loose. And, yeah, you got some money for it for really no reason. But, so I thought that was kind of weak. But he was saying, I'm disappointed. I genuinely believe there's heat between them all. I genuinely believe there's heat between them. And, it's not going to help that match on Sunday. Spicy, innit? Spicy. So, yeah, it's definitely building up Survivor Series. But not in a way that makes me go, yeah, this is all a work. Not in a way that does that, because I think the stuff they're talking about is way too serious. Way too serious. So, yeah, we can talk about that. We can talk about AEW because we've got some interesting matches tonight. So we've got Adam Page. This is obviously the fallout from that show, Full Gear. So we've got Adam Page title celebration. We've got Sammy Guevara taking on Jay Lethel, who probably won't be doing his Ric Flair impression. We've got Bryan Danielson taking on Evil Uno. Nyla Rose taking on Hikaru Shida. Orange Cassidy and Ishii taking on Butcher and Blade. I mean, where did Ishii come from? But the forbidden door is wide open. So we've got Orange Cassidy and Ishii. And we've got taking on Butcher and Blade. And we've got the Acclaimed taking on Dante and Lio Rush. So lots going on. Lots happening tonight. And yeah, looking forward to it. Should be a good night. Primo said, did you hear her thoughts on AEW? I didn't. I only saw the Ric Flair stuff. Do you think more WWE stars are more tuned into what AEW is doing than vice versa? I can't comment. You'd have to bring me up to speed with what she said. The news I've seen, it's been all about... to be honest, I mean, I saw that she was on his show, and he is a very good interviewer, but I did not expect answers. I think I'm so used to just... generic, wishy-washy answers. Becky's gone out there and gone both double barrels, do you know what I mean? She's just absolutely unloaded with anything and everything. Like, the Ric Flair stuff was meaty. Let's put it that way. It was meaty. And if you're telling me she spoke about AEW, I'm guessing that would be quite meaty as well. Harley said, Days, honestly, I've no idea why Ric Flair said that stuff to Becky. There was no reason. Becky was right in her response. Ric's response to that was just proving Becky right. It was weak. Yeah, I mean, I think I can understand Ric Flair. The only thing I would say, right, is Ric Flair has put a message out saying, all the choreography in the world won't save you, right? Now, Becky could have come back with something that didn't need to be as cutting as what she's come back with today. She could have respected Ric Flair more and just come back with something saying, to be the man, she's going to have to beat the man. And that's exactly what I am now. Or, it could have been something really generic, really, you might have looked at it and gone, But she did not need to go as far as she did today. Like... she didn't need to go that far. So I do look at like Becky and think, wow, I mean, she's clearly upset. She's clearly hurt. She's clearly angry. She knows exactly what she's doing. You know, she's not responded in a tweet. Instead, she's been able to actually say more words than you would in a tweet and actually drop it on a podcast and a clip that's going to be, you know, reported everywhere. I mean, she's turned around. I mean, I must admit, she's turned around and said, I've decided to not respond on Twitter, but then responded on that show with something quite heavy. I mean, I don't know if she said it and afterwards went, that was a bit far. Or if she just doesn't give a flip. I don't know. But I thought that Ric Flair's response was quite weak. But I think hers was actually too strong. I think hers maybe went a bit too far. But, yeah, I don't know. It's a tricky one, isn't it? It's a tricky one. Maybe Becky is just tired of Rick's bull. Maybe. Days, can I tweet you a picture of what I look like with my new haircut? No. Bill said, Days, can you knock on your neighbour's door and wish them well? That's a long walk. My neighbours are not that close. So, not right now. Days, what did you think about Spider... I don't watch it. I've never seen a single Spider-Man film in my life, mate. So, I haven't watched the new trailer. Ask Harley. He'll give you a complete breakdown of Spider-Man, and he'll tell you, like, scene by scene what he thought of the trailer and everything. So, yeah, that's the big news. That is definitely the news that's got everyone's attention. I'd love to know what she said about AEW. I'll have to see if I can find that, unless anyone knows. After Ric Flair kissed her, no wonder she's gone off with him. The man is the man, whatever. There was more to Jungle Boy than Drew and Damien. Miss Clown 1, shout out to you. Stole the escape pod, didn't you, this week? Miss Clown 1. I thought it was good when I saw it, but I'm so pleased that everyone enjoyed it as much as they did. Demanding another showing, so... yeah, really cool. So, Miss Clown, shout out to you. You should be feeling pretty proud this evening. D Money Parker, shout out to you, my friend. Hope you are well. Appreciate you stopping by and genuinely feeling really... I must admit, this is probably the most excited I've felt for watching a Dynamite in a while. I think with the go-homes, like the go-home felt like a go-home to me last week. I thought that the show at the weekend was good. Thought it was solid. I didn't think there was much that reached spectacular levels from that show personally. But equally, I didn't think there was anything that really was disastrous. So it is one of the better AEW pay-per-views. And I'm quite looking forward to seeing the fallout. I want to see what's going to happen between the Bucks and Kenny. So I want to see what's happening there tonight. Ishii being on the show is going to be great. We get to see Jay Lethel as well, so that's going to be intriguing. So, Primo said, Becky said she watches the AEW product, says it's important to see what's going on around, and views them as an alternative and not competition. Do you agree? Yeah. I'd agree with that. The only thing I would say is, you know, is she watching MLW? Is she watching NXT? Is she watching NXT UK? I mean, if it is important to know what other companies are doing and other people are doing, then is she watching it all? That would have been a little follow-up question. So, like, what is she watching Impact, for example? Or is it just AEW? And if it is just AEW, then how can you not call them competition if you're only watching AEW? Because that would suggest that you are interested in seeing what they're doing because you're maybe worried about it. But they're not on at the same time. So, I mean, she is correct. It's not on at the same time. Like, you don't have to choose between AEW or WWE. So, unless they're going to go head to head, you could watch both, like what we do. So, it's not competition in that regard. It's not like Xbox and PlayStation. Do you know what I mean? Where chances are you're going to get one. You know, there are people in the world, of course, that get both. But most people tend to just get one or the other. That's competition. Or if your TV show is on at the same time as someone else's, that's competition. But if it's on a different day of the week on a different channel at a different time, do you know what I mean? Then are they more competition than, you know, Celebs Go Dating or Love Island or whatever? I mean, Vince has said before that he sees his competition as being Netflix. He sees his competition as being Fortnite. He sees his competition as being anything that's going to distract from his show when it's on TV, which I agree with. I do agree with that. That would change if they went head-to-head. Gordon said, what's your take on Danhausen? Recently discovered him and found him to be really entertaining. My take on Danhausen, I think he is someone that is over. He is someone that is very popular. He is someone that's been around for quite a while. I probably saw him first end of 2019 time. Saw quite a bit of him during lockdown. He's just been in like loads of different videos. I've seen him in videos with like Orange Cassidy, and he seems to know quite a few of the AEW people and Impact and whatnot. So yeah, and he was on. They took a shine into him on Jim Cornette's podcast. They went through a phase of ordering cameos. Just random cameos, and they ordered one from Danhausen, or I don't know if they were ordering him or just playing the previews, and they found him really entertaining. They really liked him, and Cornette was like, I never want to see this guy wrestle. I don't want to know anything that he's done, because right now I like him, and if I know that he's been wrestling 9-year-old girls or blow-up dolls or so much stupid, I'm going to hate him, and I don't want to hate him. So right now, just don't tell me anything he's done. Right now, I'm just going to enjoy his character. And I think that's his problem for me, is that he's got an interesting character. He's very marketable, but I do worry that he'll go too far and he'll just get involved in nonsense and silliness. I mean, I am a boomer like that. I am someone that's not a fan of like the supernatural stuff. I'm not a fan of, you know, spot after spot after spot after spot. I am someone that I like Volta. I like his matches. I like Serena Deeb. I like her matches. I like proper wrestling contests that feel like contests. And I like to see two people battling to try and win a match, and winner goes on to bigger and better things. The loser, you know, struggles trying to find a way forward. You know, that's what I enjoy about wrestling. So with Danhausen, I like the character. He's fun. Ain't got no problem with that. He's entertaining. Promos are good. Videos are fun. Ain't got an issue with any of that. But I think I'm a little bit the same as Cornette. I would probably end up watching him, and he'd probably get involved in a load of silly spots. He'd probably get involved in a load of silly storylines. And I'd probably end up just kind of rolling my eyes a little bit going, well, this isn't really for me. So that's my thoughts on Danhausen. But I do agree that I haven't seen anything yet. I haven't actually seen many of his matches. His matches could be like bang on point. Do you know what I mean? He might be like the male Serena Deeb. He might be like Johnny Gargano. He might be a wonderful wrestler in the ring that's very focused and is able to tell great stories in the ring, and you know, he'd pace in it and putting in the odd high spot, but doing it to kind of elevate the match rather than just high spot, high spot, high spot. Let's do every move 100 miles an hour. Like, he might be able to paint a good picture, tell a good story. I genuinely don't know. So, yeah, I don't watch. I mean, he was in Ring of Honor, I think, wasn't he? I don't watch Ring of Honor. So, and I don't actually know where he is. Well, he's injured, isn't he? He's injured. I just remembered. He's out for a while, so I'm on board. I will definitely give him a chance to watch his matches. But, yeah, there is. I completely can understand why there is just that little element of concern. There is just that little element of, oh, please don't be a douche. So that's my thoughts on Danhausen. I do like him though. Yeah, about that, says Heather. Okay. Well, I still like him. I haven't seen anything that's changed my mind. Harley says, when you think about it, it's really embarrassing that a legend like Ric Flair goes on Twitter saying my daughter could beat you up in a real fight. Like, that is actually sad. I don't know. I think that he is sticking up for his daughter, and he's clearly not as good on the mic as he used to be. Ric Flair in the 80s would have tore Becky Lynch apart. But, now, I should imagine in this day and age, don't forget, Ric Flair's old. In this day and age, you've got to be really careful with what you say, because, you don't want to take things too far. And you don't want, like, the PC brigade after you and all of this. So, yeah, it's tricky, innit? It's tricky. What can he do? What can he say? Basically, what he said is, my daughter would beat you in a real fight, and there's no choreography that would save you. And he said, how disappointing that you've made those comments. I sold my rights to the man so that you could have it, and I wanted to support you. So, I don't know. I don't look at it as being, like, super cringe. Ric Flair's an old fool, all this kind of stuff. He is. But, what's he meant to say? What's he meant to say? If he'd gone in super hard, people would have laid into him for that and said it's cringe that he's fighting Charlotte's fights. But he's always going to want to get involved, because I think he always gets himself involved. Because he's Ric Flair and he sees himself as being, do you know what I mean, Mr. Wrestling. So, and anything to do with his daughter, he ain't going to stay quiet when it comes to his daughter. So if he feels that he can, come in and say something to help, then he'll do that. To be honest, I think the bottom line is, the conclusion I've reached is, I don't think anyone covers themselves in any glory here. I don't think Becky comes out of this looking great. Because what has she done? She's laid into Ric Flair and gone really far on Ric Flair. I don't think she comes out of it looking like a hero in my book. Equally, Ric Flair shouldn't have got involved. It's not his fight. Didn't need to stick up for Charlotte. What he's ended up saying has been quite weak. But actually, you would have had a go at him if he'd have gone really hard on Becky. So he's gone weak, and now everyone's like, oh, it's embarrassing. But if he'd have gone hard, then everyone would be like, who does Ric Flair think he is, considering what just happened with him anyway? So Ric Flair can't win. Ric Flair can't win, can he? So he should have just stayed out of it. So Ric Flair doesn't look any good. Becky doesn't look any good. I think right now, if Charlotte just shuts up and doesn't say anything on Twitter, she might be the only one that comes out of this with any kind of credibility. So if I was Charlotte right now, I'd be like, well, what a mess that is. I'm going to leave that alone. Just move on to something else. So, yeah, for me, I think it's just messy all round. Ric Flair is an attention hog and won't stay out of it. I've watched him since the 80s, so I know. Days, I was going to make a video for the web of Rocky, because I'm a boxer, but I couldn't get time. Jensen said, hello, fellow members. Hello. Days, what did Becky say? She said that he embarrassed himself. It's a shame to see. She said that he used to be... She said he was a legend in the past or something like this. She was like, he's a legend from back in the day. Like, there was a little dig in there as well. He's not a legend now. He was a legend back in the day. And she also kind of made out that, he's only using her for clout to advertise whatever he's trying to sell now, because he dug himself into a hole. That's the line for me. That's the line. Dug himself into a hole. Don't think that was needed. But, look, it is what it is. It's definitely the talk of the town. Danhausen can definitely wrestle. Look at some of his work from Fest Wrestling, where he got the makeup. With all the Becky Flair stuff going on, would you prefer that to be the main event on Sunday? No. We definitely don't need to see Ric Flair in a ring again. No, look, it's got an extra spice to it. If I was Charlotte, I would stay quiet. And I think in the interviews now, I'd just be like, look, Becky's shown herself to be trash. Not just lay like that. Becky's shown herself what kind of person she is. She claimed that she didn't want to respond to my father on Twitter, so she decided to go and do it on a podcast instead. Like, you can't trust Becky. You can't trust Becky. She's low-level trash. I'm called the Queen for a reason, so I'm going to carry on doing what I'm doing. she can carry on doing whatever she's doing. And if she thinks what she's doing is a good idea, then, fair play to her. But may the best woman win tonight. Something along those lines. Keep it like that. And just, move on. So that's like, I wouldn't put that out there. But, if she needs to do a little promo before the match. Or if, sometimes they do a backstage interview, like with Kayla or something, then she could say something like that just before she goes through the curtain. So, I think if I was Charlotte, do not tweet anything out tonight. That would be my advice. Check out Sean Ross Sapp's recent tweets. Apparently, the Briscoes were backstage at Dynamite, but scheduled to appear on the show tonight. Acknowledge your tribal chief, Roman, is main eventing Survivor Series. What are the chances out of 10 that we get a Shock Bray debut? I'm telling you right now. 99%. 99%. 99%. He will have seen the backlash, all the disappointment from the fans, and so he will be there tonight. 99%. So I'm saying, yep, it's going to happen tonight. I disagree with you. Rick went real with the choreography comment. Becky went real with the whole comment. I'm here for it because I appreciate a real mess. Well, he did go real with the choreography comment, but there's real and then there's real. I mean, the one is talking about in a real fight, my daughter would beat you, okay? Which Becky can respond with, no, she wouldn't, right? It's just a statement, yeah? It's just... The one that Becky said is connected to some very serious allegations, right? When she talks about digging a hole, she's not saying my dad's bigger than your dad, or my dad could beat your dad up, right? Or you're not even the best legend, or like it's not petty, because I feel like Ric Flair's was petty. My daughter would beat you up in a real fight, petty, yeah. Becky can answer that. Becky can easily turn around and go, no. Right? No. But what's Ric Flair meant to say when Becky turns around and says he's using me for clout because he dug himself into a hole recently? Like, that dug himself into a hole recently, for me personally, is levels above anything Ric Flair said. Because she is talking about serious allegations that were made during that Dark Side of the Ring episode. Ric Flair was cancelled. He's been cancelled. And maybe deservedly so. I don't want this to seem like I'm standing up for Ric Flair, because if he is guilty of those things, he deserves, whatever justice is thrown his way. Because, to go back there and kind of, do what is alleged to that air stewardess is appalling, absolutely appalling. And there was no punishment that was dished his way. Like, this is bad. And as a result of him being, like, where he is right now, he should have shut the hell up. As I've said before, like, no one is coming out of this looking good. He should have shut up, right? If you don't go throwing stones when you're in a glass house, and that's exactly what he is at the moment. He's in a very glass house. He's got, I don't know when he'll come out of this glass house, to be honest. He's kind of... it's bad. It's really bad. He denies it. He's come out and categorically denied that it's happened. Like, his denial was very strong. Very, very strong. He was like, people know me. I've spilled. You know all about me. You know all about my money problems and everything. But you've never heard about this. Do you know why? Because it didn't happen and it's not true. Like, he put out this big denial online. So... I don't know, man. For Becky to bring that up and for us to now be talking about that feels to me like that is levels above Ric Flair saying, my daughter could beat you in a real fight. So, Pete says, Days, I just said that about the glass house. Trini! Same page. Pete says, not a fan of the supernatural stuff, despite the biggest Bray Wyatt mark. Who? Me? Don't think you watch the channel much, do you, mate? Johnny says, Days, I told you were never getting Bray. Get it arrest, dude. Get it arrested. Febin said, Days, do you think Rick will eventually try to put down Becky by talking about how she allowed for that Rumble kiss spot? I don't think that'll get brought up, to be honest. Days, you're talking about it. Cancelled. For me, Charlotte Becky is must-see. It should be main event, and it actually might. WWE have been promoting it so much more than everything else, and it has a little trailer. Do you think... How long have we got? 20 minutes. Do you think Rick will eventually try to put down Becky by talking about how she allowed for that run? Oh, we read that one. Becky also said Raw has been suffering for a few years. Mentioned how the 3 hours is hurting the show, but wants to build it up again. See, isn't this quite interesting, isn't it? It's quite interesting how we've been a bit down on the show, like Raw, over the past couple of years. And like, you know, I think there's been people that have been a little bit upset when we've been honest in saying, it's not been brilliant. And now you've even got Becky coming out saying that Raw hasn't been brilliant for a couple of years. I mean, I think they know. I think the superstars know. I think people know that, like, it hasn't been good. The pandemic was not good at all. It was not good at all. It was a bad time for WWE. And to be honest, I still don't think they're out of it. It still feels like we've got the crowds back. We did the draft. It keeps feeling like I keep waiting for it to wake up. I don't know about you, but I'm just waiting for wrestling to just wake up. And it hasn't quite done it yet. Or certainly in WWE, it hasn't done it yet. Because once I kept holding out, like, once the crowds come back, we'll get a big summer storyline. Do you know what I mean? There'll be a big summer storyline. I don't remember it. I don't remember the big summer storyline this year. Genuinely do not remember it. It was probably something to do with Roman, but I mean, the Roman story's just continued all year. I can't remember, like, a big summer storyline. And so didn't really feel like anything was happening then. Then it was like, okay, the draft. As soon as we get to the draft, that'll do it. And we got the draft, and what ended up happening was a load of people got released. And again, it still doesn't quite feel like any big storylines have happened yet. I think maybe to WWE, the Liv Morgan, Becky might be big. The Kevin Owens turn might be big. Maybe. I don't know. I think a part of the problem is, though, when you have these people that you don't do anything with for the longest time, it's very hard to get, like, crazy excited when you start doing something with them completely out the blue. I mean, like, Kevin Owens, you've just done nothing with him for the longest time. And now, okay, you're doing something interesting, but it's going to take me a while to care, to be honest. It's going to take me a while. So, yeah, still waiting for it to wake up. I think now at this point, definitely want to get Survivor Series out the way, because it feels like they're actually building some other storylines that aren't even a part of Survivor Series. They're kind of building, like, Liv Morgan, Becky. Well, that's not at Survivor Series. We saw Tony Storm confront Charlotte, didn't we? That's not at Survivor Series. Kevin Owens and Seth Rollins. Something going on with Adam Pearce being a heel. Something going on with Naomi and Sonya. Kind of feels like there's a lot of stories that have got nothing to do with Survivor Series at the moment. So get Survivor Series out the way. And then we build to day one. Maybe day one is going to be the relaunch. Maybe day one is because in all fairness, I am very excited, right? I'm going to put some praise on WWE now. Get ready for this, yeah? I am very excited for WrestleMania, and I will tell you why. It is 2 nights in the AT&T Stadium, which is 100,000. That means they need to sell 200,000 tickets. If you're going to sell 200,000 tickets in 2 days, you are going to need some star power. You are going to need some stories. You are going to need a build. You are not selling out WrestleMania just on WrestleMania name alone. Like, you are going to need some help. Be it Stone Cold, be it Undertaker, be it The Rock, be it Cena, be it a juicy big storyline or multiple juicy big storylines. I actually think this could be a very exciting WrestleMania season. But it does mean we've just got to get through to next year. Because in all fairness, next year, we've got day one. Excited for that. see what they do. New pay-per-view, yeah, could be good. Might be rubbish, but could be good. So day one, new, fresh, interesting. Looking forward to it. Then we've got Royal Rumble. Always look forward to the Royal Rumble. Yeah, so we've got Royal Rumble. Amazing. Then I don't know what we've got, to be honest. I don't know if we go to Saudi Arabia or what we do. But because I think there was one that wasn't announced around that time. So I don't quite know what we're doing. Normally it would be Elimination Chamber, but I can't remember if that was announced. But we build towards 2 days of WrestleMania. So really from January, it could be tasty. And don't forget, just before that, we're going to build to day one. So actually, it might not even be January. It might be like December, mid-December. It might be about a month away. Might be about 4 weeks away from things getting juicy. Because in about 4 weeks' time, I'd imagine the build for day one will be in full swing. And I've just got to hope that day one is going to be significant. Brand new pay-per-view, and I hope they invest in it. I hope, they go big for this new pay-per-view. I hope they haven't just changed the name. I hope they haven't just changed the name and that's it. I would love a different set. I would love some interesting matches. I would love, do you know what I mean? Even a concept, a different stipulation for a match or something, anything that could be quite interesting. It could just be that it's flipping Backlash renamed. Do you know what I mean? It's just New Year's Revolution renamed. Could just be renamed. So, I don't know, but we'll see. I am quite excited for next year. But we've just got to get there first. In case we get a situation where Charlotte gets really peed off after Becky provokes and legit smashes the flip out of Becky, what would be the consequences? They would probably be suspended and fined, I would imagine. Suspended and fined. I mean, they would be fined heavily. There will be big fines if anything goes off the rails. No doubt about that. Also, I would imagine WWE will have a contingency plan. So there will probably be a few people at ringside that will be ready to jump in and pull the women apart. And I would imagine it's been discussed. If they really don't like each other, I would imagine WWE will have something in place in case it falls apart. That they will watch it like a hawk. And if something doesn't go right or something doesn't go to plan, there could be a finish that they... Do you know what I mean? Sonya walks out and declares that this match is going to be a tag now, or, it's going to be someone else instead. There might be a way of them, if it's going wrong, we don't just let it go wrong. If it's going wrong, we'll get Sonya to walk out, or we'll have a couple of guys go down at ringside, who knows, Adam Pearce or whoever, someone that works backstage, the Hurricane. Can jump in the ring and just grab, one of the women and, maybe bail it out that way. Maybe it starts to become like a brawl. Referee calls for the bell, double DQ, and then we just get referees in the ring. We get people in the ring. We separate and pull them apart. We don't let things get too far. So I'd imagine there would be a plan like that in place, to be honest. I don't expect it. I really don't expect it. I would give it 5% chance, if that. I really wouldn't expect it. These two are going to face massive fines if they do go off script. Massive fines. Not only do they face massive fines, but I think also they could get suspended. I think it's a bad look as well. I don't think it reflects well on them. It might even hurt their pushes. Do you know what I mean? Vince can do anything, can't he? He can suspend you. He can fine you. He could drop you into the mid card as punishment because you can't be trusted. Just can't be trusted to do what needs to be done. So I think they've got I think they've got enough to lose. Hello, Legend Killer. Hope you are well. There are rumors saying that Sonya and Adam will be removed from authority figures. A little more than 10 minutes before AEW Dynamite. Yes, indeed. We've got Ishii on the show tonight, which is going to be interesting. Ric Flair mentioned AEW in his tweet. What, is there another tweet? Better not be. He should shut up. He should really shut up. I don't think he needs to keep tweeting. Ric Flair? 8 minutes ago. In closing, I'm done defending my legacy. Yeah, I mean, look at that. Look, this tweet 8 minutes ago, so I have not seen this yet. But look, in closing, I'm done defending my legacy. Straight away, without reading anything else, that says to me that it's that he dug himself into a hole line that's hurt him. Because it is about his legacy. I'm done defending my legacy. Yeah. I appreciate everyone's hard work and will respect everyone's opinion to agree or disagree. All I can say is the paper trail is always the be-all and end-all. Hear it all next week on Flair Uncensored. Oh, didn't need to do that, did you? Didn't need to promote your podcast. That ain't going to look good. Let's focus on AEW tonight. Well, he's not with WWE at the moment, is he? He's not with WWE, and he does have friends in AEW. I mean, he's not with WWE. He's not under a contract with them. They ain't paying him. So, yeah, I think that mentioning the podcast... This is the thing, though, right? This is what you've got to remember. Ric Flair, and again, not defending him, but Ric Flair is old, yeah? He's old. He is old. And to him, like, you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. Like, he's tried to put a tweet out there. He's tried to say, look, I'm done defending myself. If you want to hear more, I'll have plenty to say on my podcast. Let's just watch AEW tonight, right? I think that's all he's trying to say. But to me, reading that as someone, I read that going, have you just used that as a way to promote your podcast? Like, it's just, but you can't win, can you? You just can't win. Dunno, man. It's messy, innit? It's really, really messy. Really, really messy. Wrestle with Andy. Someone that isn't messy. Unless he's eating them cheesy chips. Says, do you think Bray won't arrive in AEW for a while? No, I was talking to my friend Johnny. Autism Wrestling, and he was saying that he expects Bray tonight. He was saying that Bray will be there tonight, and we should all start getting excited. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it, man. I'm looking forward to it. So that's what my friend Johnny says. Pete said, you're getting worked by Becky and Charlotte. Even if they don't get along at the end of the day, they're professionals. It wouldn't turn into a shoot fight. A lot of the Twitter beef is just a work. Jensen said, what are the odds that we see Lethel take the title tonight? I would think thin, to be honest. I would think thin because I kind of feel like Lethel is a name that Sammy could beat and it gives him a bit of credibility as a champion. Like, if you beat Jay Lethal, like, that means something. Like, wow, okay, cool. Well done. So I kind of feel like it might be that. But equally, if he's coming in and he's going to be a bit of a, he's going to have a good, solid final run, could he get the title off Sammy? Because Sammy doesn't need that title. I kind of feel like Sammy's bigger than that title. I don't know about you, but the TNT title for me, I don't know why, but I always feel like it's a Ricky Starks, Powerhouse Hobbs, Dante Martin. I feel like it's that level. Sammy, to me, feels like he's above that. I mean, might be because he's been around and heavily used and in the inner circle, and we've seen so much of him. I mean, I feel like MJF's above that. I feel like Jungle Boy's above that. It's weird, actually. I kind of feel like, I don't know why, maybe I've just got the really wrong impression of the TNT title. I know it's a mid-card title, and you can make the argument, well, Sammy's a mid-carder. But to me, I don't know why. It kind of feels like it's a title more for lower mid-carders. I kind of feel like Sammy's too big for it, MJF's too big for it, Jungle Boy's too big for it, Darby Allin's too big for it, Cody's too big for it. There's this real group. There's a group of people that I see just under that main event scene. I say just under because they don't ever really get there that often. Your main event tends to be Jericho, Omega, Moxley, Hangman right now, of course. That's kind of your main event scene. And then just underneath, you've got, say, Punk, Bryan Danielson, Jungle Boy, MJF. I just see this like group of people that they kind of sit in between the TNT title, but not quite to the AEW championship. They're kind of lost in this middle bit. So, I don't know. Maybe it's just my perception is wrong of the TNT title. But, yeah, I mean, Jay Lethal could get it. Jay Lethal would seem like someone, he's just come in. It's his first match. He is a legend. I could see him holding it. I don't see him as being in that group. But I do see Sammy in that group. I do see Sammy up there. Just because he's been so heavily used and he's been in the inner circle, Bray is currently working on a movie, so I don't think Bray will show up until next year, says John. John Cena! Da, 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 da. Do you think they need an upper mid-card championship? Well, I don't know. I mean, if you was maybe just to... I don't know. It's difficult. I don't even know why I think that. It's so interesting. I've never really thought about it. But it doesn't feel like it serves that group of people. I don't feel like it's that prestigious of a title. I don't know. You could say I'm crazy. I'm completely wrong. I'm just telling you how a gut feeling. My gut feeling is that it's more for your Kip Sabians. It's more for that kind of lower level. And I don't know why, because if you look at the history of the people that have held it, it's been a Cody, it's been a Darby, it's been a Miro, it's been a Brody Lee. I mean, they're good names. And like, it's been on all the pay-per-views. It's not like it gets forgotten about. But I don't know that I see it as a prize that is that prestigious. I don't know that I see it as a prize that, like, why would Jungle Boy want it? I feel like Jungle Boy is working his way up to being AEW champion. And he's actually fought for the AEW championship. And he's had matches against Jericho and everything. Like, why would he want the mid-card belt? Why would he want the TNT title? I don't know. I feel like he's just that level above it now. I feel like he's coming along and he's right there with Darby Allin and MJF for me. I mean, when you talk about the future of AEW, those three in particular are what I think about. Darby, MJF. I suppose in a way, Darby, MJF, Jungle Boy, and Sammy Guevara. You could make an argument they're the four pillars of the future of AEW. I could see the company being built on them four as we go forward. And I just don't see them four being around the TNT title picture. So, to answer your question, it could just be me. It could just be my perception of it is a little bit off. It could be that other people kind of view it similar, and maybe they do need to just make a slight change to making it feel more important. I don't know. Maybe if TNT title got you a number one contenders match, maybe if there was a way that at the end of the month you got a championship match, or at the end of a quarter. If you've got that belt at the end of March, and then at the end of June, and then at the end of September, and then at the end of December, 4 times a year, the TNT champion gets a title shot. That could be fun, couldn't it? Because then you're fighting for it, and you're fighting to have it for those times. Like 4 times a year, every 3 months, the TNT title champion gets a title shot. That would be cool. That'd be interesting. So, or you could take it twice a year, or 3 times a year. You could do it every 4 months. End of April, end of August, and then end of December. You could do it 3 times a year, every 4 months. That'd be fine. That might make it, and then all of a sudden I'd be like, okay, it does make sense to have that belt now. It does make sense to have it, because if you've got it, when that happens, then you will get a title. You ain't got to win a number one contenders or anything. Just by having the belt, you get that opportunity. So straight away, I'd be like, okay, I get why MJF wants it now. I get why Jungle Boy wants it. I get that it's an important title. But until now, it just, it feels very secondary. So... days tonight, Roman is on the Tonight Show. I think it's called Jimmy Fallon, and Bianca and WWE Superstars will be on the Late Show with Stephen Colbert. This is great stuff. I agree with that. That's exactly the kind of stuff they want to do. They want to get more into the public eye. definitely. More late night shows, more game show appearances, more daytime, like get on Ellen, or it's not Ellen anymore, is it? Who does it now? It's not Ellen, is it? Or is the show just gone? I don't know, whatever it is. But yeah, late night, Good Morning America, CNN, get them all over the place. Fox and Friends, get them everywhere. And, I mean, I'm not in America, so I don't know how much Roman's in the public eye. Is he on the front of, like, various magazine covers? Are they, how good are they at getting out there? Because they need to kind of force themselves into the public consciousness, really. So, yeah, I did see that. It's good. There's a 4 Pillars t-shirt with Darby, MJF, Sammy, and Jungle Boy. Is there really? Legit didn't know that. Legit did not know that. Days, if Charlotte really wants out and to go to AEW, wouldn't unintentionally going off script and busting open Becky surely make WWE fire her? No, I don't think they would fire her because I think they'd know that she would want to go to AEW. Instead, would the better punishment not be to suspend? Because what you could do is suspend her, and what that means is it freezes the contract. It can actually freeze the contract. So if she does that, you could suspend her for 3 months, freeze the contract for 3 months, and then when she comes back, she's still got to do all the contracted stuff. And if she does it again, you suspend her again. And it's just a contract that it'll just never end because she'll just keep getting suspended. So, I mean, you don't want to be keeping someone around that doesn't want to be there, but that's a dirty tactic, isn't it? I mean, it's completely unacceptable that WWE release people from their contracts. If you've got a contract, you honor the contract. That works both ways. That should be for WWE and for Charlotte. If Charlotte was to do that, there would be no sympathy for WWE, considering the amount of people they've fired. So there'd be no sympathy. But I do think contracts should work both ways. We are seeing the fallout for Full Gear. AEW. Becky quoted WWE on Fox video saying Charlotte wants to say something. I'm not natural from her SmackDown promo last Friday. Basically body shaming. Come on. I mean, what's Charlotte meant to say? I think Charlotte should be able to go on TV and say something, and then Becky has got every right to come back and say something back. I don't have an issue with that. I mean, if she's going to make out that it's body shaming and all this, it's like, come on, what's wrestling meant to do then? What you're not allowed to say anything now. I don't know. That would be weak for me. I think, she gets paid to know that her character is going to be attacked in that way. That's to me, that's part of the job, right? She doesn't have to put up with it from the likes of Ric Flair or anyone that's outside of the TV show. But it should just be a TV show. I mean, really, it should be that those comments are not real. And she should have been aware of them in advance and whatever, but we know there's real life heat, so. Right, we've got Kenny with the Bucks here. The Elite lost the night. Congrats to Hangman. There's things I've got to fix. There's things I've got to change. Adam Cole says, don't you worry, cleaner. Omega said, I was actually talking to the Bucks. They're teasing it, aren't they? They're teasing the split. It's interesting. It's interesting open. I like it. Right, we got the Dark Order in the ring. They're going to bring out Hangman. Kenny taking a walk. He's got vertigo, hasn't he, I heard? Right, here we go. Virginia is for lovers. Where's the belt? Round his waist. Round his waist. Do you think WWE quietly released Joe from his contract? Surely he doesn't fit in the new NXT. I don't think it will be done quietly. I think if he gets released, we'll know about it. But I don't think so. I think that's going to be... Surely that's Triple H's now problem to deal with. And surely when they brought him back, they knew that NXT 2.0 was going to happen anyway. Surely he was aware of that. Because they would have had to have, like, got the plan sorted for the new venue and had it all designed and the new logo sorted. Like, and so... Right. Hangman in the ring. Only cowboys wear belts. Black Machismo already in the audience. You deserve it, Chan. Smojo is a WWE talent scout, says Sean Rossett. You earned it, Chan. Hangman said, I don't usually flap my gums that much, but I'm AEW World Champion, so I'll do whatever the hell I want. He said, I'm still a man with a boss to answer to, and that boss is you. Mr. Clown, shout out to you, dude. Could we see so much screwy at Survivor Series after the allegation reference? I can't see Charlotte laying down for a 3 count. I don't see her laying down for a 3 count. Yeah, there'll be something screwy. I mean, I thought that thing would be a draw. Neither woman is going to lay down for the other woman. Yeah, screwy, definitely. He says that my next responsibility is the American Dragon, Bryan Danielson. And here comes Bryan Danielson. It's a good start to the show, this. I do like this start because we've had a good interesting elite segment backstage where Kenny's like, you beat me fair and square. They've even teased more of the split between Kenny leaving and Adam Cole taking over. We've had Hangman come out and he's celebrating. And now here is Bryan Danielson. Bryan Danielson applauding Hangman. Bryan Danielson. Okay. Bryan Danielson in the ring. I came out to say one thing. Congratulations. Bryan Danielson sticks his hand out, shakes the hand of the Hangman. I'm excited for this match. He says, I'm a little surprised and disappointed it's not Kenny Omega. It's not Kenny Omega because I beat his ass at Full Gear. Face off. Hangman said I did it in less than 30 minutes. A little shot to the fact that Bryan Danielson couldn't. I haven't come out here to start any beef. Booze for Bryan Danielson. You're not going to wrestle someone that's going to dress as a Ghostbuster. He says, I'm out here wrestling every week and you're just flapping your guns. When I won the World Championship at WrestleMania, I wrestled the very next day. Of course, Virginia boos hard work. Wow. When I wrestled at WrestleMania, I wrestled again the very next day. Of course, Virginia boos hard work. Big yes chance. Oh, now they're yesing. Oh, now they're yesing. Normally I'm up for it. Okay, so we are getting a more heelish Bryan Danielson. Interesting, innit? Interesting. Bryan is laying it thick. This is a heel turn. I don't know if it's a heel turn. I mean, he's certainly not making friends. I know that much. It's Daniel Bryan being Christian from 2011, says Joaquin. Gets right in Bryan Danielson's face. Is pushing and shoving. He is so good. He is so good on the mic. He knows exactly what he's doing. The mention of WrestleMania was brilliant. AEW fans aren't interested in hearing about WrestleMania. It's a really good start to the show, this. Okay. Let them fight. Let them fight. Let them fight. We've got Hangman being held. I'd kick his ass. There's no way they'd let him go, and Hangman is let go. I tell you what I really like. The commentary team were just talking about something, and they just stopped because it felt like the crowd were taking over. It felt like the crowd were taking over. It felt like the crowd were like, let them fight. Let them fight. And for a second, the commentators just stopped talking. And I was like, are they going to go with this? Are they gonna do something? And they did. I mean, Hangman launched himself at Bryan Danielson. All Bryan Danielson did was, you know, cut a little quick little few words, and we've ended up going to the commercial break anyway. But yeah, that was good. That was really, really good. That's one of the best opens to Dynamite I've ever seen. Days, it's a clear heel turn, but I don't mind because Bryan is amazing at promos. Daniel is being heel only because Paige is being a face. Rashawn said, nice start to the show. Corbett said it's not a heel turn. He was never a face. He said on his first day in the company that he's not there to be nice and take sides, to help people. He's there to fight and win. Yeah, I mean, I don't know that it's a heel turn, because I do agree that after the Paige fight, he will just lightly carry on, you know, doing whatever. But I think they know they need to bring out a more heelish side to him. I mean, in all fairness, he did drop that line about Virginia, saying, you know, trust Virginia to boo hard work. I mean, that is a heelish line. Can't deny that that's a heelish line. But at the moment, I'm not sure. I think he's definitely pivoted his character to show more of its heel tendencies, because I think they need that for this match. But do I think that Bryan Danielson's going to be a heel from now on? Right now, I'm saying no. But I do think he's pivoted so that he can be the heel in this feud. That was good heel promo, says Charles. Maybe he's only playing heel during this feud, but the way he acted was so heelish on the mic, it had me thinking. I think Bryan is going to be a tweener, depending on who his feuding, says Jensen. Great opening to the show so far, says Hayden. Everything Network said having an attitude is not always a heel turn. Fat Cheeks said, I'm surprised he mentioned his WrestleMania win. I was as well. I wasn't expecting any mention of anything WWE. Raw or SmackDown or WWE Championship or Universal Championship or Eco Championship. I wasn't expecting anything. So for him to mention WrestleMania was, yeah, very surprising, I agree. Legend Killer is enjoying the show so far. Right, we are underway with Evil Uno against Bryan Danielson. They maybe could have got to this match in a more interesting way. Could you imagine if, like, Evil Uno had, like, hit Bryan Danielson just before the break, and Bryan Danielson was like, I don't want you, Hangman Page, right now. I want him now. Who the hell are you to hit me in the face? And then, like, we end up with Evil Uno against Bryan Danielson. I know they announced it in advance. If they hadn't, then that might have been quite an interesting way to get to this. We are underway then with our first match of Bryan Danielson against Evil Uno. And I think AEW is so much stronger now. Shoulder tackle by Evil Uno. Bryan is getting booed, said Brony. What are they chanting? Can't hear. 1, 2. Chop by Evil Uno. Slapped by Brian. So this is a full unhealed turn for Bryan Dynamite, or is he a tweener? Well, I think it's a tweener. I think that he will do whatever he needs to do. But for this feud, he's going to be more of a heel. He's got nice snap suplex to Evil Uno. About time Daniel Bryan interns heel, said Johnny. Did you hear about the guy who invented the knock-knock joke? He won the Nobel Prize. Chop coming in. And again. Kicks coming into the back of Evil Uno. Aubrey tells Bryan Danielson to back away. Bryan ain't got time for them hillbillies in Virginia. They are booing him. He presented himself as a WWE guy and a bit of a heel. Bryan Danielson pushing away the face of Evil Uno. I don't know what this is. I don't know what this is. Evil Uno was just standing there with his arms behind his back. He's unloading some big chops on Bryan Danielson. Charging into the corner. Evil Uno. Down goes Bryan Danielson. Kick coming into the chest. Another kick coming in, but his hand gets caught. Net breaker. 1, 2. Kick out. Days, don't you think Bray might altogether leave wrestling if the movie ends up doing well? Will he leave wrestling if it... And I don't think so. I don't think so, because I don't think he got a chance to really say goodbye, and his whole family and his whole life has been wrestling. And I'd imagine it's something he's got a very strong connection with, so... Yeah, I mean, look at The Rock. He went to Hollywood, but he still came back and did matches. I mean, could it distract him from working full-time in wrestling? Maybe. But he would need another film lined up after this one finished. Because once you finish recording, it goes to editing. Well, he would need to be working on another film. Otherwise, what's he going to do? Evil Uno in the corner. Bryan Danielson charging over. Big boot. Another big boot. Boot by Evil Uno. John Cena. Well, I sent to you. I'm going to bed. Clay, shout out to you. It was crazy. I was loving it. Bring on Ishii, says Heather. Bring on Ishii. Knee by Danielson. Couldn't hear what he was saying. JR said Bryan is very spirited tonight. Right, there we go, and he wins. And he keeps it on as well. So Brian wins. Brian Danielson wins. I had 7 clips for the wet, but I didn't want it to go over 3 minutes. He wants to hear from the Virginia crowd. Let's see what he says to Tony. Yeah. Okay, out here. So he said he kicked in the head of Evil Uno because of Hangman. I like that. He said he's going to kick in all the heads of the Dark Order until Hangman gives him that match. Next week we're in Chicago. Is that Colt? Colt Cabana. I'm going to kick your head in Chicago. So he calls out Colt. That's stupid because it makes Dark Order look weak, says Kim. Wyndham will destroy Bryan. Screw Hangman. Right, we've got MJF. The not so Dark Order. Get them, Danielson. Where is he? I don't know what's going on the inside of my knee. Okay, so he's talking about how he beat Darby. He's a very good heel. He's a very good heel. I thought he was going to say acknowledge it. I'm better than you, and you've got no choice but to... And I thought he was going to say, acknowledge it. When Punk eventually wins the AEW title, do you think he should go on a run like 300, 400 days and then drop it to a youngster, which would mean the birth of a new star? You don't have to do that. I mean, I like long title reigns, so I'd be fine with it. But... I don't know. You don't have to do... I mean, that feels like kind of what we did with... How long did Moxley have it for? I feel like the title reigns have been quite long. I feel like Jericho held it for a while, Moxley held it for a while, Omega's held it for a while. So if CM Punk was to win it and hold it for like 300 odd days, I don't know if it would seem that different to what we've just gone through. So it probably would be the longest. But I would imagine some of them others hit 200 some days. I feel like there's been some pretty good long title reigns. I do like that about AEW. It's not like that main belt's been chucked around, passed around, like every 20 days we're getting a new champion. Like when it changes, it feels significant. So I do appreciate that. So if there's to do that, I'd be fine with it. I could see MJF as the next champ, says Jensen. Too many stars in AEW to be holding a belt that long, says Everything Network. Heather says Punk doesn't need it. Michael said, I wonder when Alexa will come back to WWE. Jensen said, if I'm being 100% honest, and please do, Jensen, please do, I don't want Punk as world champion ever. J14 said, I love Punk, but I would rather someone else hold it. Tommy said, I think Hangman should drop the title to MJF at next year's All Out. Better add a TV and a US title or the trios titles to keep wrestlers interesting. Corvid said, getting cheered doesn't make someone a face. There's plenty of heels that get cheered. Brian Cage is the first casualty. They've got nothing for him. They've also set up Punk coming out of next week and saving Cabana. Do you think Danielson is a heel, or do you think it's just the crowd? No, I think he's definitely showing off a heel side to himself. I think, he didn't release the hold at the end of the match. I think that he insulted the crowd when he said about Virginia booing hard work. So, no denying that he is positioning himself now as a heel for this feud. What I don't know is it a full heel turn? Like, is he now a permanent heel, proper heel, long-term heel? Don't know. I don't know if he's a tweener. I don't know if he's just showing that side of himself. It doesn't feel like a full heel turn yet because, like, Tony Schiavone got into the ring and he was like, what Tony Schiavone said was, you got a bit, I think, did he say testy? You seem to be a bit fired up. You see, he was kind of still talking to him like he was a face. Tony Schiavone was like, you seem a bit fired up. You seem a bit testy tonight. Like, the crowd's like turned on you and you're letting them know kind of a thing. It's not as if Tony jumped into the ring and was like, what you've done tonight is disgusting. Explain yourself. Explain your actions. Why would you do that, Brian? Why would you let the people down? He hasn't done that. He's gone in going, you seem a bit off tonight. So I'm kind of getting the impression, for me personally, that he's definitely turned heel. He's definitely showing a heel side to himself. And he is going to be the heel in this feud. But is he just a tweener? Is it just that he's positioning himself there because he's got to get into that mindset to try and win the title? Is it a case that, if he fails, then he'll say, look, fair play to Hangman, better man won, and I wish you all the best as a champion. And then MJF comes down and we start a, Bryan Danielson MJF feud or something, like, and then all of a sudden he's back to being the face. Like, it's hard to know. It's hard to know what the long term will be for it. So it's kind of a bit, he's definitely the heel right now in this feud. I like how he's going to take out different members of the Dark Order. I like that. Right, we've got Butcher and Blade, so we are going to that now. Butcher and Blade. I think this is the Orange Cassidy and Ishii match. Here we go. Right, here is Orange Cassidy. Danielson is going to do what is asked of him and wrestle the way he knows how to wrestle. Oh, he's coming out with... I thought he'd get his own music. Has he got the never open weight at the moment? Killer, isn't he? Ishii. OMG, Ishii! Newly crowned, never openweight champion. Right, okay, so Cassidy is in there with Ishii. It's a bit weird, Ishii coming out to that music. What are your thoughts on Punk having that long reign and then losing it at Chicago to MJF? Imagine the heat. That'd be good. Yeah, be down for that. I'd be down for that. Right. Ishii starting us off with the Butcher. Butcher don't fancy it. Tags in the Blade. So, Blade face-to-face with Ishii. Forearm strike by the Blade. And again. Duck underneath by the Blade. Forearm strike again to Ishii. Against the ropes goes the Blade. Collides into Ishii. Ishii knocks the Blade down. This match is such a waste of Ishii. They had a chance to put him in a match against Danielson, and they give us this instead. Shoulder tackle. Blade goes down. Cassidy. Butcher gives me Triple H vibes. The Stone Pitbull, says Heather. Right, we've got freshly squeezed chants and Orange Cassidy in the middle of the ring. Puts his hands in his pockets and low kicks coming in. Over the top. Drop kick by Orange Cassidy. Kips up. In comes the Butcher. Brutal kicks. This Ishii jobber guy. OMG. Lol. Cassidy will carry him and Ishii will go on to AEW Dark, says Taboy. Taboy making lots of friends in the chat this evening. Edward, shout out to you, Miss Clown 1. Shout out to you. Magic Miss Clown. Back in the corner. Kick to the midsection. In between the ropes to the outside goes Orange Cassidy. Bunny getting involved. I think we're going to commercial break where Big Money Matt takes a strike as well. We're about 40 minutes into the show. William, shout out to you. Hope you are well. Primo said Ariel Helwani does go into some serious depth with WWE wrestlers that I didn't know they could be allowed. Last time he asked Roman about Punk. Robert said, what do you think about the way Becky and Charlotte are acting? Oh, dude, we covered it quite extensively right at the start of the stream. I think I think this is a shoot. I don't think this is a work. I don't think that you would mention that stuff about Ric Flair as a work. It's too serious. It's too serious. So some of this, I think a lot of what is being said is a shoot. I think they will work a match. I think the match will be fine. I really don't expect there to be trouble. It would be great if they teased it. It would be great if there was a moment in the match where it just looked a bit off. And they just kind of like, they look at each other. And for us fans that kind of know what's going on, we'd be like, is it falling apart? Is it falling? That would be great if they could put that in. But I don't expect it to fall apart. Or not for real. I mean, it could be that they just start going at each other and the referee's just like double DQ. And they're just like flailing away at each other and there's like, blood and it's all... Yeah, it could be... Honestly, you could book it amazing. That would be a good way to book it, actually. I don't think people would be disappointed then. Imagine if they just started, like, having a cat fight and the refs, like, having a word and in the end, ring the bell. We get referees running down trying to pull them apart. They're grabbing at each other's hair. And, there's a bit of blood as well. Like, we get a bit of colour. It'd be one of them, wouldn't it? But, yeah, I don't expect it to turn into a real fight. The world needs a faction of Malachi, Brody King, Butcher, and Blade, says Esteban. DWTD said the American Dragon is too good, so I don't see him getting pinned anytime soon. Kim said, the idea is dumb to me because having Bryan kick all of the Dark Order's heads in just makes the Dark Order weaker than before. I don't think I see any of the Dark Order one-on-one against someone like Bryan Danielson being his level anyway, to be honest. I mean, I seriously don't look at Evil Uno as being Bryan Danielson level. Or, I mean, it'd be interesting if he tries to have a match with John Silver and John Silver takes it to a draw. That would be interesting. Or if John Silver has an incredible match but just falls short. Like, that would be good. He should not steamroll John Silver. No way. All the others, not bothered. With the Dark Order, I think that they're like a faction. They're a tag team. They're a group. I think that's their strength. I think individually, one-on-one, I just don't see them being Bryan Danielson's level. Strength in numbers. Days, this Ishii jobber, AEW probably found wrestling in a high school gym in front of about 10 fans. Like, who is this Samoa Joe lookalike jobber? Well, he's in there with the Butcher. Strike coming in by Ishii. Forearm strike coming in by the Butcher. Forearm strikes, Ishii being driven back to the corner, hurled across the ring. Big collision by the Butcher. More chops coming in by the Butcher. It's quite quiet. Another big chop. Ishii staring at the Butcher. Ishii's just trying to work out, like, am I in pain? Is this hurting me? Am I in AEW? You effed up chance. Ishii walking forward as Butcher still throws in strikes. This match is a cluster, says Charles. We've got Butcher up top. Big Butch. Big Butch is up top. Looking for a superplex. Boom, gets it. Ishii with a superplex. Going for the cover. 1, 2. And Blade makes the save. I mean, for a Dynamite match, this is fine. And the only thing I would say is it's a bit weird seeing Ishii come out to Orange Cassidy's music. I think they could have given him his own music. Here we go. OC, crossbody, gets caught. They use Orange Cassidy as a battering ram. Pick up Cassidy. Oh, nice. Stun Dog Millionaire. He's got up round into a DDT. Blade is being pinned. Shoulder up. Shoulder up. Loved for you're at work right now, but being active on all the streams. Ronnie, shout out to you, dude. What is your favourite chocolate and potato chips? I don't know, to be honest. I'm really trying to be healthy, so I don't really eat potato chips. So I would really struggle with that one. Yeah, I don't know. I couldn't answer it. Ishii makes the save. Forearm strike. I couldn't tell you the last chocolate bar I had. I just don't eat them. And I don't ever eat crisps. I'm trying desperately to be healthier now. If I need a little snack, if I need a little like sugary hit, I've started to have marshmallows, big marshmallows, because there's no fat in them. They've probably got a lot of sugar, but there's no fat. So marshmallows are quite good. Apparently at like Slimming World, I've never been, but my mom has. And she tells me that they recommend them, like big marshmallows. Give you a bit of a sugary hit, but there's no fat to them. So marshmallows and licorice. Licorice, you can get like licorice. I don't mind licorice. Again, there's no fat in that. It's bad for you if you have too much licorice, though. Rocky pulls the Blade out the ring. Blade having a word with Matt Hardy. They stand and stare. I mean, that spot is just horrific. I mean, literally, you had Matt Hardy with the Blade standing there for a few seconds, just looking at Orange Cassidy as he jumped off the top. Brainbuster by Ishii, and gets the win. That match was a lull for me. It's great seeing Ishii. I don't think the match was that special. But overall, still a very good 46 minutes. Standing in place for 2 seconds for an obvious spot. Yeah, and I gotta tell you, that's not just AEW that do this. This is NXT, this is Raw, this is SmackDown. I don't care who does it. It's flipping stupid. In 2021, it's flipping stupid. Most popcorn is very low in calories. I have heard this, and apparently quite good for energy as well. I was eating it during the Olympics, but I think the ones I was having was a bit too processed. You need like freshly popped, don't you? Right, we've got still to come the Acclaimed against Martin and Lio Rush. We've got Sammy Guevara against Jay Lethal. Looking forward to that. Looking forward to that. Sammy Guevara against Jay Lethal. Coming up next, Nyla Rose takes on Hikaru Shida in the quarterfinals of the TBS Championship. And I just saw Black Machismo. I saw the guy in the front row. Right, we're backstage with FTR. FTR and Andrade. Isn't a banana more than enough of a sugary punch? Do you know, I don't tend to have banana. I've got one here at the moment. It's going a bit off. I only tend to have bananas really when I'm on stream. I do have them sometimes if I'm going to have, like, oatmeal or porridge or something. I might have banana in it then. But I don't really tend to eat it. But, yeah, that would be a good snack as well, bananas. Bananas, marshmallows, licorice. What Miss Clown just said about popcorn. That's where I am. Much more than reaching for a chocolate bar or a bag of crisps. I find if it's not in the house, you can't have it. Simple as that. So I just really try to make sure it's not around. If it's not in the house, you can't be tempted by it. If I had a drawer full of chocolate bars, I'm sure I'd be tempted. You know, when you're hungry and you're like, oh, It's just so easy to grab one. But that's where I just don't have them in the house. Days, will we see Tony Khan tonight? I don't think so. Mike said, damn, this show is on fire. Porridge is awfully bad. Dude, you're Scottish. You should love porridge. It should be like coursing through your veins. Tully wants a piece of the Glock. Looks like they're going to let us down again. No, Bray. Nah, there will be. Wait for the main event. Then we'll get lights go out and Bray will come out. Or Wyndham, should say. Wyndham. I've not had much time. My SS predictions will drop on the channel. I was meant to do a video, but I have not had time. That's always the battle, innit? Time. What happened to the Pinnacle? They're still around. They're still around. Days, William told the chat that he had fun times with his fiancée 11 times. Okay, well, thank you for making sure I was aware of that. Erase Your Mind said chocolate oranges and milk slices. Do you know, I've not had a chocolate orange since whenever we spoke about them, and I've not had a milk slice since I had one on stream. I mean, literally, my whole life is on stream. I mean, isn't that bizarre that, like, one of the last... might have been the last chocolate thing I had was a chocolate orange. And, yeah, milk slice. Just because I wanted to try one. It was quite underwhelming. Days, I've been following a healthy diet just before COVID. Recently, I bought a dark chocolate. It's got no sugar and 99% cocoa. Plain dark chocolate with no sugar is amazing for health. Funny you should say that. I do have a bar that I haven't opened because I did hear that dark chocolate does have some health benefits. But I think it's still going to have fat in it. It might not have sugar, but I think it's still going to be bad fat. So, I don't know. It's in the house. One of those kind of high cocoa ones that you're talking about. But to be honest, I haven't even been tempted by it, so. But I'm glad you're enjoying that. Dark chocolate is good, says Charles. God, this has slowly drifted away from AEW into healthy eating, hasn't it? That's what we've drifted into. Heather said Ishii is class. CLASS. Facts. Right, we are back. And we are going to go to that women's match, aren't we, actually? Let's do it. Dark chocolate is great stuff. Right. It is Nyla Rose versus Hikaru Shida. Thai Conti. Oh, a small amount of dark chocolate, if it has no sugar, is very healthy. I have to mostly be healthy, but I can eat junk food, but it's not healthy, and protein drinks for my boxing and my football. I will never eat healthy. I love junk food too much. I love junk food, but I don't know. I don't mind any food. I mean, junk food is lovely, but you can get some really good healthy food. Low-fat food. I had a lovely sweet and sour chicken the other day. It was really tasty, and it was like no fat in it whatsoever, and it was full of protein. So I was like, I'm into this. Right, we're hearing from Britt Baker. DMD. Yeah. look at Reba. Reba's like, she's pointing at Jamie Hayter. She's like, this girl over here. I've never done that before. To point to someone. That was good. DMD. I tell you, Reba has been with her for a long time now. They've been together for a long time. They've been great together, actually. I wonder if she'll ever turn on her. Days, pasta is the best for boxing and steak, but I like my steak medium rare, medium well done. What about you? I used to have it well done. Because I used to like the burnt taste. I used to actually like that. I still do, actually. But I remember I went to a proper steak restaurant once, and they basically say, we can do your steak however you like, but we do strongly recommend medium. And like, I asked him why, and he was like, well, that is, you know, if you want to enjoy the flavors of the meat, then, you know, medium rare or medium is really what you want to be aiming for. And at that point, I was having well done all the time. So I was like, okay, I'm going to do that. And it was lovely. So, yeah, I tend to have that now. One of them, medium rare or medium. But, I mean, honestly, I've had well done, and I like it. I do like well done steaks. They are a bit tough. I will admit they are a bit tough, but I do like some of the edgings where they start getting a bit burnt. I do actually like that. I like the taste of that. I'm quite happy to try raw as well. Well, not raw, but you know, would I ever have blue? I don't know if I'd go blue, but I'd be quite happy. Rare is fine. I don't really care. I'm not one of them people, to be honest. If I was to go out and someone was to bring me a steak, I don't care what it looks like. I'm quite happy with it. Rare, medium, well done, whatever. I'll just thanks for the steak. Really appreciate it. Looks lovely. Thank you. Hikaru Shida charging over, knee strike. Mayonnaise Dutch chocolate is good. Mayonnaise Dutch chocolate. What the hell is that? I hear raw squirrel meat is super healthy. Go to a steak restaurant and ask for well done. They look like you, they look at you like you're a murderer. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I didn't. I went for the medium, but I got the feeling that it's, you know, something they say a lot. Certainly if you're getting a lovely cut of meat, a lovely steak, you know. Boy said, I don't know, Days, I just made it up. Okay. Right, we are underway with Hikaru Shida and Nyla Rose. We are also getting towards the halfway point. Vicky Guerrero is outside the ring. Let's go Shida chant. Shida. It was nice to see a different entrance stage, wasn't it? We are back to the two tunnels. The fallopian tubes. Right, in comes Hikaru Shida. I always used to have well done, but I now have medium rare. It's so much nicer. My steak has to be well done. No pink. That's surprising, William. I thought you'd enjoy it. Quite pink. Nailing a well done steak is actually very hard. This is why cooks hate it when people order them. What's your go-to sauce when it comes to burger and fries? Not massive on condiments, to be honest. I mean, like, on fries, I might go for... Do you know what I tend to have a lot of? Reggae sauce. I don't know if you have it in America. It was a guy that was on... he was on our version of Shark Tank. So, our Shark Tank is called Dragon's Den. And... but I believe you have the same thing, and it's called Shark Tank. And he came on, and he had a sauce... And it was called reggae sauce. And it's like a Jamaican jerk kind of sauce. But, I mean, it's lovely on steak. You can have it on chips. It's got a lovely, like, flavour to it. I must admit, I just tend to go for that now. Before, I probably didn't really have anything on a steak. But I'd have, like, when I was younger, probably had ketchup on chips. I have now moved to mayonnaise. I don't really have ketchup on anything now. I would have mayonnaise on chips instead. But I've given up on that now. Now I just tend to have reggae sauce. It's nice. I'll find a picture of it whilst we're underway with this match. Nyla Rose and Hikaru Shida. And as we said, we are at the halfway point. Jerk barbecue sauce. I can't hear what they're chanting. They were chanting something. Into the barricade goes Nyla Rose. They're fighting on the outside of the ring. Here's a picture of the bottles. So it's been going since 2007. You can see what it looked like in 07, what the bottle looked like in 2010, how it changed to 2014, and what it looks like now in 2018. And it's original Caribbean barbecue marinade and sauce. Do you know what? I actually remember the 2010 bottle the best. I remember seeing the outline of him. Reggae sauce. It's quite nice. It's like a marinade and sauce, and it's good. Put some music in your food. Like jerk, barbecue kind of a thing. It's cool. I mean, I'm sure you'd have something like it in America. I mean, like, can't imagine we've got something you haven't. Right, kendo stick being used on Vicky Guerrero. Vicky screaming, screeching. Hikaru Shida really pleased with herself that she beat up an old woman. Really pleased with herself. Mitchell said, I'm behind, but what a great heel turn by Danielson. Mitchell, shout out to you. A heel turn. A heel turn. Poor Vicky. Another cluster mess, says Charles. I mute when I see Mickey. My speakers just can't handle it. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Can't handle it. Days his hiding from his fiancée. Who? What? William? We do have some that the US don't have. Scotland, USA don't. Huh? What do you mean? Days, on an egg and bacon roll, red or brown, it's brown all day long. Spicy brown German mustard, hot sauce and ketchup, but obviously not in that order. What's this on a steak? Spicy brown German mustard. What the hell is that? Spicy brown German mustard. God, that's specific. Have you got any mustard? We've got English. No. Have you got German? Don't think so. Have you got the spicy German mustard? Maybe. Have you got the spicy brown German mustard? I don't know if they make it. That's very specific, Heather. Spicy brown German mustard and hot sauce and ketchup. Jesus. Can you find the steak under that? I'd be having to scrape it. I can't mix sauces. No way, man. I can't mix sauces. I used to eat chipotle sauce, says Miss Clownwell. Oh, I don't think I've had that. I got some spicy brown German mustard. I bet you have, Jonathan. I've heard that about you, mate. I've heard that about you. You and your spicy brown German mustard, you dirty boy. My oldest brother's ex put ketchup on a roast dinner. Oh, I hope you had him killed. Because that's absolutely disgusting. Nyla Rose on the outside and Hikaru Shida. She's doing jazz hands on the top. Crossbody. Down goes Nyla Rose. In the ring goes Nyla. Hikaru Shida screaming. Who's took her out now? Yes! Yeah! Deep, 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 deep. The professor of professional wrestling. This crowd. Dead. What is wrong with them? What is wrong with this crowd? You've got one of the greatest women's wrestlers in the world making an appearance and they're all like, oh, you've ruined this match now. Should be bowing down. Bowing down at the sheer excellence that is Serena Deeb. Nyla Rose in control now, thanks to the professor of professional wrestling. Yeah. Put Shida away, Nyla. Put Shida away. Imagine if she still can't beat her. Imagine if Nyla still can't beat her after that attack. God, Nyla. Come on. Don't be useless. Don't be completely useless, Nyla. Right in the middle of the ring. Nyla Rose. Picking up Shida. Power bombs her down. Oh, she still landed on her leg, actually. She sentoned her leg. I don't know if Shida tried to move out the way, but she just got sentoned on the leg. Nyla going up top. Ah, no one home. Roll through. 1, 2. Kick out. Shida goes for a kick. Ah, stretch muffler. Stretch muffler. She's got the stretch muffler applied. Got the power. Yes. Well done, Nyla. Well done, Nyla Rose. Because that would have sucked. That would have sucked if Serena Deeb had helped and she still couldn't get the win. Like, that would have not reflected very well on Nyla Rose. Days, I'm at a busy restaurant, and I can tell you the majority of people are eating their steaks medium rare. What, have you done a quick serve? Have you gone to hi? Just on a live stream at the moment, but have you had just medium rare? Thank you. And you? Well done. Oh, okay. Thank you. Hi, I'm just on a live stream at the moment. How have you had your steak tonight? Oh, you want me to leave? Okay. Yes. No, you don't need to call the police. Okay. Thank you. Is that what you did? Did you go around checking on everyone? Fair play. Fair play. That was bad, says Charles. Fun fact about me, I have never seen E.T. or the Gremlins or Jurassic Park or Scarface. Scareface. Nyla Rose has gone through. Where's Austin? Where's Austin gone? That's the question. Where is Austin? He's going to miss the arrival of Wyndham. Is there an A2 steak sauce? Do we have that here? I don't know if we do. I've seen it on tables in America. I'm guessing we do. Dave, Serena Deeb is a legend. That's a fact, mate. That is a fact. Sonny says, Austin, where you at? Yeah, he's not around. He's done one. He's done one, mate. Halftime scores. As soon as you get to the next commercial break, we'll do it. Lurker 316. Austin is missing. We're going to have to get a missing poster drawn up for Austin. Do you think Bryan Danielson is starting to turn heel? I think he is going to be a heel for this feud, yes. But is it a full heel turn? I don't know yet. I don't know yet. Right, Jeff. Jeff dip-a-dappa. Jeff dip-a-dappa. Jeff dip-a-dappa. Yeah, yeah. MJF is mid. Mid is mid. Right, MJF is in the ring. He gives the microphone to Shawn Spears. You suck, you. Maxwell, who could defeat any of your heroes with a simple headlock take. Look how far away Wardlow is standing. Wardlow's standing a long way away. Yeah, I am waiting for Wardlow to just lose it, man. Shawn Spears has took a seat and he's having a protein bar or something. MJF said he is the most complete pro wrestler on the planet. He said he's going to start a bidding war in 2024. What is that little signature on the blue part of the TBS belt? Did anyone else notice it? No, I can't say I have. Okay, so we've got an MJF promo here. He said he's going to be the next AEW World Champion. Because no one in that locker room. No one is on my level. CM Punk's music. Okay. Sign me up. Sign me up. We're teasing Punk and MJF, are we? Yeah, I mean, it's time. It's time. Punk looking at MJF. Personality. He's got a Rancid t-shirt on. Okay, so Punk making his way down. I'm definitely into this. Damn, they're going to job out MJF to Punk. Punk hasn't earned it yet. David said automatic 10 out of 10 for the show. CM Punk. CM Punk. Punk looking at MJF. These two going back and forth on a mic. This is a test for MJF. This is a test. Big holy chance. No. Shut the F up is what they're chanting. Too soon, says Charles. Yeah, man. Big shut the F up chance. Maxwell. Goes to shake the hand of CM Punk. CM Punk laughs, turns his back, walks away. Oh. Well, I wanted a little more, but... Oh, well. That's it. LOL. So Punk goes out, looks at the hand, turns around, walks away. I remember going to movies. Brilliant. No words needed, said Erase Your Mind. Yes! Here's Darby. We will have a rematch. Darby said, I want the biggest, I want the baddest. Billy Gunn said, I'm the biggest, I'm the baddest. Oh, so MJF gets CM Punk, Darby Allin gets Billy Gunn. Well, there we go. Get in your sort of halftime scores, but not really. So get in your halftime scores plus 17 minutes. Get them in. Get them in. Get them in. That's an odd next opponent for Darby, says David. I thought that. Big bad Billy Gunn. Lone Star Friend says 6.5. Anthony said, I wish MJF was in WWE and he could dethrone Trojan Force. The hell is Trojan Force? That sounds like a Mattel line. New from Mattel, Trojan Force. Lone Star Friend says 6.5. Liv and Zelina stand 6. Zachary says 7. Justin says 6. Brony says 6.5. Sonny says 6. Shaquem says 6. Mark says 7. Jonathan with an 8. Nelson with a 5. Mike with an 8.5. John Cena with a 6. Kenny with a 9.5. Tommy with an 8. Serge with a 7.5. Chris with a 6.5. Hayden with a 6. Erase Your Mind with a turtle out of 10. Brad G says turtles. Lots of turtle references. I don't know where the turtle references have come from. David with a 7. Raised by the excitement of the MJF Punk tease and lowered by the Darby Gunn tease. Legend Killer said 6. J-Hub says 4. DWTD said, I give the show a 6. Days, a.k.a. Roman Reigns. 1987 Big Fan says 7. Ledge Killer says 6. Reggie says 8. Effin 9. J14 says 7. William has just got I think that's a fraction, I'm not sure. Moldy Spoon said 7.25. Roman is Trojan Force. Okay. Read my score. I demand it, says William. AEW Italy section says Sammy retains. Trey Gaming says 6. 1987 Big Fan says 7. Burn It Down says 6. Days is a boomer. He wouldn't understand the turtle meme. I don't. Don't even try to explain it to me. I wouldn't understand it. 7.25 will score higher if Sammy Lethel is good. Yeah, I'm probably about there as well, actually. 1987 Big Fan says 7. Burn It Down says 6. Trojan Force. Yes. The Quilver. Turtle. Brad G said, Days missed the I like turtles line. I did miss the I like turtles line. Here is Adam Cole and the Bucks. Trying to end my life on pay-per-view. Rampage. Bobby. Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus against Adam Cole and Bobby Fish. You can't say that here. And that is undisputed. That was funny. You can't say that here. Yeah, it's clever, those little references that do just like happen throughout the show, and they just make me go, oh, like the WrestleMania mention. Oh, you can't say that here, that he was about to say undisputed. Oh, you just don't get any of that with WWE, do you? Don't get any of those kind of moments. So, they do that stuff very well. Alex said that is an original. Oh, okay. John Cena, Austin and Anna are having a fun day. Is that where they are? Oh my god, yeah, Anna's not here, is she? Wow. Leo Rush and Dante Martin says Hayden. Hayden, was you sad that New Zealand lost the World Cup? Let me know, Hayden. I wanted them to win for you. Yo! Listen! Yo! Okay. Leo, you're an amateur. I think you're better as a manager. Right, we're underway. The Acclaimed have arrived. I did feel a little bit sad, but it's okay, says Hayden. It's them Australians, isn't it, Hayden? It's them Australians, eh? Ugh. Always ruining it for you. We were supposed to have a Tony Khan announcement tonight. Let them finish the song. I don't know. It did feel like there was maybe a verse missing. Perhaps it was a bit too risky or something. Don't know. AEW knows their fans are smart and plugged in. WWE thinks their fans are 8 years old. I don't think they think their fans are 8 years old. I do struggle with this comparison because I don't think that WWE are trying for the same audience. I mean, if WWE were trying for this, I think they could do this. But I think they are trying to cater to more the casual fans. Like, there's a lot of in-ref. Don't forget, if you just watch AEW and you know, not that interesting, you're just a casual fan, a lot of this reference stuff will go over your head. I mean, you won't know that they used to be in a team called the Undisputed Era. So you wouldn't know that, would you? The manager line, wouldn't know that, would you? So they do know their audience, and it definitely adds to the show. But to be honest, I just think WWE are like, don't need to do that. We don't need these in-jokes. You know, they're trying to cater to more of a casual audience. Who do you want to see Black Machismo Jay Lethal feud with? I don't know. I mean, again, you've got loads of options, haven't you? It'll be interesting to see what... I mean, it depends. We'll find out after tonight if he wins the TNT title. Where is your Bean plushie? Oh, I don't know, dude. It's around somewhere. Be around. I did it the other day. Around. WWE has their own vein. Can't wait for Punk versus MJF. Do you have MJF be the first to beat Punk? He could cheat and end at the end of the day. Is MJF going to be the first to beat CM Punk? I suppose there's a good chance of it, yeah. He's got to stand as good a chance as anyone. Because he could brag about that forever, but he was the first to do it, so I'll say yeah. Didn't Lethel have some allegations against him since they came back up since he went to AEW? I honestly don't know them, but apparently there is something out there. I saw that David Bixenspan? David Bixenspan turned around and put a tweet out saying, don't spread fake news. It has never been reported anywhere that Jay Lethal has been found innocent. Whether you choose to believe the allegations or not are up to you, but don't spread fake news or something like this. And I think that's the first time I heard of any allegations against him, so I genuinely don't know what that's about. I mean, I don't know if they're that serious, because would AEW have touched him if they were? Esteban said, WWE just don't care what their fans think. They'll force you whatever they want to. Well, I mean, I'm not going to deny that. I'm not going to deny that they... Well, they do sometimes listen to the fans, but yes, they will go the direction they want to go in. John said, it is happening. Undisputed Era are tagging for the first time in 10 months. It's happening. Finally. We need a celebration era for a celebration stream for this. Undisputed Era forever. They can't be called that though, can they? Allegations are not fake news. No, but he was saying that people are saying that he was found not guilty, or he was found that the allegations weren't true, and that's what he was saying was, you know, don't go saying that, because that's not true. That is fake news. According to him, anyway, it's never been reported anywhere that he has been found innocent of those allegations. So the allegations are the allegations. But apparently there was a lot of people when he came into AEW saying, nah, that was all found to be not true. And this David Bixenspan, from what I read, said, don't say that, because that hasn't been reported anywhere that he was found innocent. I don't care. They are called Undisputed Era in my damn heart. Okay. Should AEW build up an Undertaker-like streak and build a star in the future, like a WrestleMania-type streak? You could do that. I mean, I think it would get compared to The Undertaker. But, yes, you could certainly do that. It's a story that you could tell. I think CM Punk bests MJF. However, I think it'll be you get respect moment of establishing MJF. Remember, it took Sting 3 matches to beat Flair. It's a good point. That is correct. Allegations were never corroborated and also not substantiated. But never disproven. So there's allegations out there, and from that one tweet I've seen, which is the only thing I've seen, there's been no movement on it. So we don't know. We still don't know. Head scissors takedown by Lio Rush. Coming up next, we've got that Jay Lethal match. Do you think AEW should hire a script writer and film crew and develop a series revolving around Orange Cassidy? No. I mean, I'm all for doing things, but I mean, that's a big investment. And I just don't know if the views would be there for that kind of thing. I mean, they did a show around Cody, and Cody, I would say, is a bigger star than Orange Cassidy. And that Roads to the Top bombed. So you could maybe do a little vignettes and stuff on Dynamite if you wanted. But I think his own show, I wouldn't. Lio Rush going for a splash. Joaquin said, what's one AEW thing that you want to see next year? Less stupidness? How about that? That would be nice. Big strikes coming in by Caster. Dante with a springboard missile drop kick. What would I want to see next year? I don't know. That's one for the chat. What would you like to see next year? What would you like to see from AEW next year? I mean, my honest answer is would be that. I mean, I think they've got a lot of really good pieces in place, but I do think they just take that step too far. Sometimes, you know, like the exploding barbed wire match, which just, it didn't work, and, you know, that's all people remember from that match. Or the pushing off the top of the blood and guts thing, which looks stupid. You know, again, that kind of ruined that match for me. The Matt Hardy changing his clothes underwater in a stadium stampede. Do you know what I mean? Those kind of moments just go too far for me, and they're just too silly for me. And like, this show has been really good. It's been a really good show. It's been really solid. It's been nothing silly or stupid here. And I think it's been a really solid presentation. And actually, same with the pay-per-view just gone. There was nothing silly there. And I thought it was a really solid, well, there was a couple of little spots, but there was, all in all, I thought it was a really solid, really good pay-per-view. So I feel like AEW are in like a decent little spot right now. I think AEW are doing really, really well. But I do just worry that they're just always one bad idea away from just, you know, their audience, their hardcore audience will stick with them regardless. They can do whatever they want, and the hardcore audience will stick with them. But I think for those of us that are like, I'm just got to be honest about what I like about it, what I don't like about it, and they are giving me more stuff I like right now. They're in a good spot. So I suppose, what would I like to see next year? This kind of thing continue for a whole 12 months would be great. Good splash there by Lio Rush, and Lio Rush and Dante Martin get the win. That's going to bring out Hook. FTW. Ricky Starks. Powerhouse Hobbs. Here's Taz. What's this? Dante Martin looks less sad than usual. Leo Rush. It's nothing personal. Okay, they're saying it's been a year since Hobbs joined Team Taz. So they want to get Dante. Okay. Team Taz getting their own alien in Donkey Martin. Imagine if after Omega recovers, he doesn't return to AEW. He goes to New Japan and challenges Okada to get his confidence back after his loss. And maybe a betrayal from the Elite, says Notorious Nightmare. Dante is confused. Charles said, the AEW booking is a bit inconsistent. There's no builds and one match and done. There's also too many factions. Master Chief says, Taz is annoying. Daniel said, I'm late to the stream, but in the Elite segment with Kenny earlier, Kenny said he hasn't watched the match back, and Matt Jackson looked relieved, as that means Kenny hasn't seen the nod Matt done yet. I didn't catch him saying that, to be honest, but my first reaction is, well, that's a bit silly, because he must also have stayed off the internet, because everyone's talking about it, and he will have been tagged in it, and the clips were doing the rounds. So even though he's not watched the match back, has he also not been on the internet or spoken to anyone? Because even if he spoke to someone, wouldn't the question be, what are you going to do with the Bucks? So I think that's a bit silly. If that is what they're going for, I actually thought that he was just... I thought that he was just not affected by it. He was like, you know, I'm my own man. I'm going to... Because he said, look, Hangman won fair and square. So I thought that he was taking that approach. And I was like, okay. Well, I didn't realise he'd like made that comment of I've not watched the match back. I hope they're not suggesting that. Because that explains nothing. Because unless he's not spoken to anyone, not been on the internet, not been on Twitter, not read a single review of the show, or anything, then surely someone would ask it, would mention it. Days, Full Gear had 145,000 pay-per-view buys. Any clue how many of those were WWE pay-per-views got, like a Fastlane or a TLC? No, well, they don't do pay-per-view buys for it anymore, do they? Because of the network. So, I mean, that's not bad compared to... That's not bad. Let's put it that way. I mean, I think that there's Survivor Series that have got around that number. So that doesn't strike me as being a low number or a bad number. And certainly not for the money they charge as well. You know, taking that into account. Right, coming up, we've got Sammy Guevara and Jay Lethel. Next week's AEW looks amazing, says to boy. Minty said, about a month after the speaking out movement, Jay was accused of sexual misconduct. Nothing has been confirmed. Is there any chance that Thunder Rosa versus Hater match somehow leads to Thunder Rosa feuding with Britt? Oh, I'm sure we will. I'm sure we will get there. What had pay-per-view buys been like when they did not have the network? Were they varied, to be honest, from show to show? You know, I mean, there's WrestleManias that have done 1 million and something. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot that are around 200,000, 300,000. But I know there's ones that have been 100 and some thousand, like low pay-per-views. I don't know if there's anything that's gone under 100,000. I don't know what the lowest WWE pay-per-view would be. But I know for a fact, Survivor Series 2013 did 179. 179,000 buys. Survivor Series 2013. Don't ask me how I know that, but I know that. And so, like, if they've done a 1-4 something, well, I know for a fact that the Survivor Series from 8 years ago, which was one of the last pay-per-views before the network came in, because the network came in early January of 2014. So one of the last pay-per-views that they did before the network arrived did 179. And that was 8 years ago. Before the network, there was no network. Before the network, 179. So they've done a 148, 148,000 for Full Gear at a much, I would imagine, a much higher price point. So I genuinely don't think that's a bad number at all. Rosa will probably be the one to take the title off Baker. Baker has never pinned Rosa, and Rosa made her famous with that bloody match. I don't know if you're saying that bloody match or that bloody match. With that bloody match. Everyone keeps banging on about that bloody match. It's good long-term storytelling, says Corvid. Daniel says, all out this year, got 205,000 pay-per-view buys. That is more than the 2011 Money in the Bank with Cena and Punk main event in it for $50. That is a great number. I didn't know that was more than Money in the Bank 2011. It's very good. Austin said Britt was famous before that Rosa match. Yes. It's getting late. I've got to go. Bye. I enjoyed the stream. Keep up the good work. Enjoy the rest of the day. Hammer Studios. Good night to you, my friend. I think CM Punk's gonna have a storyline finally with MJF, and maybe it ends with Darby turning heel. 685 Blood. What have you missed so far? Quite a bit, actually. It's been a good show. Nyla Rose has got past Hikaru Shida in the TBS tournament. They've teased Kenny leaving for a little bit, and Adam Cole kind of taking over. Omega was like, I was talking to the Bucks. And Adam Cole was like, yeah, sure, of course. What else have we had? CM Punk getting face-to-face with MJF was interesting. We've had Ishii already in the ring. We've got Jay Lethal about to go after the TNT title. Pomp and Circumstance Remix. Your main event tonight. Jay Lethal. Making his AEW debut. I'm looking forward to this. Never before has someone stepped through that open door. It's a forbidden door. And captured gold here. Get ready for the toughest fight of your life. Here is the Spanish god, Sammy Guevara. Right. Days the lowest WWE pay-per-view was Vengeance with 130,000. Nice. Thank you, Liv and Zelina Stan. I didn't know that. It's a fact I've never actually looked for. What was the lowest bought pay-per-view? But you're telling me 2011, Vengeance, 130,000. How much would 145 buys translate in terms of total views? What do you mean? I mean, it's 145,000 people have bought it. So, I mean, I'm guessing it just works the same. I'm guessing it's just the same as like 145,000 views. I mean, that would suggest there's 145,000 households. The only difference is, weren't they showing it at cinemas? So, I mean, was maybe, like, you know, one of them could be a cinema where 100 people went to watch it. I mean, you're not going to get that with Dynamite. So maybe the number's a bit higher than that. But, you know, it might work out to be 250,000, whatever. Don't know. Because of the cinema thing. But basically, if you bought it, then it's in your house and you get to watch it. So it shouldn't really be too far away from the actual number. Apart from the cinema thing, I think throws it out. Because I know it was shown in cinemas. There's quite a few people in our community that were thinking of going. Did anyone go, actually? Did anyone go to the cinema? We're underway with Sammy and Jay Lethel. Sammy jumping out at JJ. Going up against the ropes onto the back of Sammy. Yeah. Woos away and at one. It's the one count. Sammy has got cool looking attire. 1, 2, reversed by Sammy. Nope. Sammy just doesn't appeal to me, says Slim Jim. Legend Killer. Shout out to you, buds. I watched Crown Jewel at a cinema. I had to leave before the Roman match. Sonny said, I went to the cinema last weekend. Yes, but you watched a porn film. You didn't watch AEW. Lone Star Friend said, for Full Gear, I watched a movie. I watched it in a movie theater. Oh, what? Full Gear? You watched Full Gear in a movie theater? Was it good? Good atmosphere? Any special items? You know, sometimes you can go and they've got, like, little AEW posters that you can get, or, you know, little AEW cups. Sometimes they do, like, special things. They probably didn't for this, in all fairness, but because it might have been a little bit last minute, like, should we just show it? So maybe they didn't, but even so, did people get dressed up? I could imagine people getting dressed up. People get dressed up when they go to watch Star Wars. Wouldn't surprise me if people got dressed up as the Bucks going to the cinema. Sonny says it wasn't porn. Well, we'll let others be the judge of that. Yeah, it was great. No special items, though. It's a shame. That'd be good. Imagine if they did, and there was kids. Well, that is very irresponsible parenting. That is very irresponsible parenting. Unbelievable. Has the world lost its morals? Lethel goes against the ropes. Big knee strike by Sammy, and Lethel goes outside the ring. Heather said, I wimped out days. I wanted to, but I didn't want to be out that late alone and then drive home. That's understandable. Did Mr. Right not want to go with you? Oh my God, Heather, did you find your Mr. Right? Did you find your Mr. Right? And if you did you make that joke? I hope you did. I hope you did. You better have. Shooting Star, knees up by Jay Lethel. Panna08, shout out to you. Ron's Gone Wrong was about robot technology. Dirty robot technology. Dirty robots. That's what it was about. Minty said, I was there live and a guy next to me cried when Hangman won. We're best friends now. Dace, do you have your oatmeal in a liquid consistency or the one where the liquid is absorbed and the oats are drier? I mean, I don't have it that often, to be honest, but I wouldn't have it a liquid consistency. I don't know. A normal consistency, whatever porridge, normal porridge would look like. If ever you went to like McDonald's and ordered porridge, it would look like that. If you went to a restaurant and ordered porridge, it would look like that. Just normal. I don't have it as liquid, and I don't have it as a bowl of oats. I have it as normal. Doppelganger said the world never had morals. Fair play. That's true, actually. Dave's talking about X-rated movies. Dude, you should talk to Sonny about that. How does a 21-year-old know about those? Because you only need to be 18 in the UK. I don't think there's don't forget, in the UK, you only need to be 18 to drink. We don't have this stupid 21 rule. Jesus. I was in a pub when I was 16, drinking cider in a pub, and the pub clearly knew I was 16. I mean, I don't know if that happens in America. Doctor's coming over. Look, Sammy's down. Sammy's in pain. Sammy's like this bit here. This bit. My tummy hurts. Doctor, my tummy hurts and my tummy's got a boo-boo. Sammy. Yeah. Oh, Sammy's got a boo-boo. Right, well, he loses the belt. He can't continue. Take the belt off him. Take the belt off him. They're trying to, yeah, look, Jay Lethal's like, what is this donkey show that you're putting on here, eh? I'm here to compete. I'm here to be a champion. Not here to put up with this BS. Yeah, strip him. Jay Lethal's like, get in the ring. Sammy pushing the ref away, pushing the doctor away. Gets back into the ring and he's like, come on, bring it. Bring it. I think he heard my comments. Is that a fake heartbreak? I don't know. Sammy's like, come on. Oh, sticking his fingers up here. Jay Lethal. Stomping away. I believe it was. AEW shouldn't do long picture-in-picture commercial breaks during the main event. It ruins the match and the show's flow. Michael said, I want Bray. It's coming. Don't worry. Next 7 minutes. Lights will go out. Red light will come on. Boom, 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 ba-dum, bum. Catching flies with a mouse whilst the cat is fast asleep. Look at the stars. Look how they shine. How they shine. Dum 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 dum. Here he comes and he's nude. Why the hell hasn't he got clothes on? Dun 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 dun. Bum 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 bum. It's gonna be sick. 6 minutes. 6 minutes. Austin says, another episode of AEW and no Wyndham. Days is wrong again. Listen, I said I thought he would be there. I said it wasn't a given. I said it wasn't guaranteed. I said I thought he would be there. I stand by it. I would say it again. I do not think a film is a good enough reason to not show up. Days is, I asked a question, would you answer? Go for it. Go for it. CM Punk versus Adam sure would be fun. Pretty sure that's a different OC kid. Oh my god, they've changed them. Sammy. Why would you do that if you've hurt your ribs? He's jumped off the top onto the table. The timekeeper's area. Stop the match. Stop the match. Take the belt off him. It's a hell of a bump. Isn't it? That is a hell of a bump. This isn't looking good for Sammy, but he's a fighter, so he will be good. I don't think Sammy is going to wrestle into his 40s and 50s. What is your go-to McDonald's order? My go-to McDonald's order is, hi. I pull up to the thing, the little thing. Hello. Hello, sir. What can I do for you? Can you tell me directions to somewhere healthy, please? Would you like a Big Mac? No, I'd just like to go somewhere else. Okay. There's a supermarket just down the road. Okay, thank you. Bye. And then I leave. Here we go. Got a figure four. Figure four leg lock. Woo! He better not impersonate Ric Flair for too long. Otherwise, Becky will start taking shots at him. Pew, 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 pew. Lethel needs to bridge into a figure eight. I want Brock Anderson versus Glock Anderson. They should fight JoJo for the love of Wyndham. Loser can no longer have an obsession. I don't feel like I'm obsessed, to be honest. I feel like I'm doing all right. There's a guy in the front row that looks like Trick Williams. What, is he bout it? Bout it. Fight forever. Right, here we go. Jay Lethal putting on a stretch to Sammy, but Sammy reverses. Knee strike by Sammy. I really don't want Sammy to beat Jay Lethal, and I feel like he's going to. I kind of feel like it should be a perfectly fine and healthy Sammy. Like, it's, what does that say for Jay Lethal if an injured Sammy can beat him? Against the ropes goes Sammy, knee strike. Jay Lethal reaching out to the ropes. GTH. 1, 2, 3. Sammy wins. Sammy wins. Injured Sammy beats Jay Lethal. No. God, he better be saying to him right now, thank you so much. You're the greatest thing. I will never forget this. I'll put you over one day. What release was worse, Braun or Bray? I see why you would say Bray, but after he lost to Randy, we had no idea what WWE had planned for him. Braun got released on the same month he was in a title match. I think Bray, for me personally, because Braun, I just think you kind of had done everything you could do with him. I don't know what more you could do with Braun. I mean, he's a big guy, but his promos were never brilliant. I liked it when he was, like, you know, flipping over ambulances and everything. And, like, he had a really hot feud with Roman. But he kind of, I don't know, drifted a little bit. But with Bray, it always felt like there was so much more to come. Jay Lethal shakes Sammy's hand. Jericho holding up Jay Lethal's hand, saying, "Good job, well done." Yuck, didn't like that finish. Sammy looks 14, and they put Sammy over a guy with the resume who's making his debut. Days didn't sound interested in that finish. I didn't like it, if I'm being perfectly truthful. I like Jay Lethal. I think that I've no problem with Jay Lethal losing to Sammy, but this should be Sammy on top form, and it should be close. And, you know what I mean? Like, Jay Lethal makes a mistake, or instead it's an injured, weakened Sammy that's just beaten Jay Lethal. So it's like, no, it brings my score down, actually. But the match, I mean, the match itself had some good moments. It's a good main event, and it's a really good Dynamite. So, no shade from me. I think this was a really solid show. I think it had some really good moments. CM Punk coming out was a, wow, this is cool moment. Seeing Jay Lethal on the main event was cool. Ishii being on the show was cool. It was good. There was a lot of good stuff, but there was just a few. There was definitely niggles in there as well for me. So let's go to a poll, shall we? Let's go to a poll. People are saying hello to Monica. Is Monica around? Let me look. I'm looking. Oh, it is. Thankful for you all. Tell your loved ones that you love them and cherish every moment, because you can count on tomorrow. I love you all. Sexy. Monica, I hope you're well. How are you, Monica? Come on. Come on, Monica. Stop jumping in and firing off one comment and then leaving again. Don't do that to us. Don't do that to us, Monica. We deserve better than that, Monica. What did you score the show? What did you score the show? Hello, Monica, whoever you are, says John. Monica's a goat. That's what Monica is. Well, she's not. She's a woman, but, you know, she's a goat woman. 7 to 7.75. 6 to... She won't say anything else now. No, women never listen to me, so don't expect her to comment again. I mean, I think she's done one now. That was an opportunity for her to go, yeah, it's time to go. Where was the Tony announcement? Bakayuka, it's just on now, actually. They're still showing it on Fight. Hang on, let me just tune in. Tony's come out and he said, "Tell Bakayuka I want to have a quick cuddle." That's what he said. So Tony has come out and just said he wants to have a quick cuddle with Bakayuka. So don't know how you feel about that, if you're willing to do that. But, I mean, I'd love to see it. If we could do that next week on Dynamite, that would be pretty cool. Febin said there was conspiracy theory that was the biggest secret between select few in the society, that Days had exclusive insider news regarding Bray. All of that came to a bust at Full Gear. Thoughts? What, that I had insider knowledge that I do? I do have insider knowledge. And maybe I'm just leading you astray so that when the surprise happens, you won't see it coming. You all do deserve better. I'm doing better, and I hope you are all great. I'm always lurking. Monica! What does that mean? You all do deserve better. I don't even know what that means, Monica. What are you on about? Monica, whilst you've been away, have you turned into the Riddler? What's going on? Riddle me this, everybody. Monica, why? Just come back, Monica. Come on. Listen, Monica, I know you left because of Austin and the fact he was creeping you out. We all feel that way. I want you to know that you're not alone. And literally everyone here feels that way. But we don't go running away from the community just because he makes us feel uncomfortable. We just kind of roll with it and try our best, really, to try and get through. So come back. You know, we'll keep you safe and protected. And, you know, just all I'm saying is think about it, yeah? Just you can learn to deal with him. Sonny said, I miss you so much. Alex said, always lurking. Definitely sounds creepy, but awesome at the same time. Austin's like, I did nothing. I did nothing. Well, that's not what I was told in the DMs. In the DMs, I was told. In fact, let me get it now. This is the DM from Monica. Let me read it. Days, I'm going to leave the community because of Austin. I don't want to talk about it too much, but he's a creep. Please don't read this out live on stream, but I do understand if you have to in the future. Nothing but love, Monica. P.S. Definitely is because of Austin. So, Days, I thought I'd let you know I wasn't here yesterday and the day before because I had a stomach bug and I was sleeping a lot and I had watery diarrhea. Oh, that's the worst kind of diarrhea, isn't it, really? Well, I hope you're on the mend, my friend. I hope you're on the mend. Days really has put it for Austin underappreciated from Days. Listen, these are facts of facts, aren't they? Facts are facts. Yeah, that's a lie, says Austin. Dude, I've got the tweet right here, look. Well, I mean, my phone's recharging at the moment, but it was right, literally, just before it was recharging, it was right there. So, proved it, didn't I? Okay, we've had 105 votes. Get in your votes. Whatever happened to the OG host of this channel? You need to bring back that dude from the Mattel Wrestling Figure Fun. What I meant by you all deserve better is that you don't have to worry if I'll come back or not. I am around sometimes, just lurking, and I miss you all too. Hello, Monica. Aww. 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 I haven't really got anything to say to that. I just read it and go, aww. So she's lurking. She's in the shadows. She is around. We need to get Monica on, don't we? Monica, we need to get you on. How do we do it, Monica? Talk to me, Monica. How do we need to get you on a wrestling escape pod? Don't we? I think right now people are going to go, yes! 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 We need to find a way of making you feel more a part of this community. That's what we need to do. We need to get you on a whip. And trust me, I can make those things happen. I know people. Like Tommy. I know Tommy. So, stop being a lurker. Yeah. Step forward from the shadows. Don't be like Austin. Don't be like Austin. That is my new merch. Oh my god, that's going to be my new merch. I could have a t-shirt that says "Don't be like Austin" and a hat and a beanie and a mug. Don't be like us. That is how we're going to live our lives from now on. Oh my god, that is like next level bullying, isn't it? That is next level bullying. Even I will admit that is next level bullying. That is amazing. That is amazing. Right, keep getting your votes in, by the way. Days, can we do Survivor Series Retro Watch Along tomorrow to show you the 2016 Survivor Series was fire, says Hasib. I saw it, Hasib. Hasib. Don't make out like I haven't seen the 2016 Survivor Series. I think you'll find there's a reaction video on the channel. Thank you. Austin says, nuh-uh. That is bullying. Yes. But it won't say Austin 316. It'll just say Austin. Could be any Austin, couldn't it? What are you going to do? Could be any Austin. Don't be like Austin. It's an amazing... They would sell out. They would sell out. They would be the hottest thing for Christmas. I don't know, Days, says Big Rod. I don't know. One day, my loves, when I find a time, I will come on for a chat. I've always wanted to. I already feel loved by you all, and I can't feel any more special. We need to make that. This needs to happen. This needs to happen. We need to make this work, Monica, because I'm worried that you're going to run away again. That's my concern. I think you're like a leaf in the breeze, and I think you're going to float off, go zooming away somewhere. So we need to anchor you down. Heather says, "Well, we do need new merch day." That is true, Heather. That is true. I have been threatening it for a long time, and if I could introduce merchandise and knock Austin at the same time, that brings me more joy than you'll ever know. Austin sucks. Ah! Austin sucks much. Oh my god. Do they already make them? Maybe I could just God. Maybe I could just buy a load that are already made and then I don't even have to get them made. If I put Austin sucks. Oh my god. Guys. This Christmas. I want you to save up those pennies, right? Because we are going to be dropping some incredible merchandise for you this Christmas. This is going to be the first official Wrestling Days t-shirt, which isn't true. There has been others, but this is the first official. This is the one that I'm really throwing everything behind. This is going to have trailers. We're gonna do giveaways. We're gonna go big on this. We are gonna go big. This is Who doesn't want this shirt? Everyone's gonna want this. I want this shirt. I want the beanie. I want the mug. I want the t-shirt. I want the jacket. I want the laptop cover. I want the phone case. Wow, J14 is like, oh my god, I need that. I know, dude. I know. This is such a good idea. Can we just all thank Monica for this? Monica has inspired this. She's such a lovely person. And she didn't mean to inspire such a mean, negative thing, but I think Monica coming back shows me how much I respect her compared to other people in the community, and so as a result it's kind of inspired this. So yeah, it's a big return. I want the beanies, says Monica. Do we get the Austin Sucks panties? Well, I mean, if you want. I mean, that's maybe a bit too close to the bone. Right, hang on. Where are we with the scores? We've had 144 votes, and 45% of people at the moment are 7 to 7.75. That t-shirt will be bigger than the CM Punk shirt, says Thomas. Thomas knows, man. Thomas knows. I agree. How much would that shirt cost? £100 each. Absolute steal. Absolute steal. Limited edition. £100 each. An amazing offer. No, I would make them as cheap as I could. I would make them literally just above cost, right? So that we could get as many out there as possible. I mean, right now, I've got so many ideas. That shirt will be bigger than CM Punk's. What a great idea, says Legend Killer. I know. I think he would do it. I would so do it. I've got no issue with doing that whatsoever. Because it doesn't, I mean, like, what does it mean? What does it mean? Could mean anything. Couldn't it? Wow. David said the back of the shirt should say Wyndham is all elite. It should. It should. You're absolutely right. Right, my score for the show. Keep getting in your scores. My score for this show. 7 points. I'll go 2.5. I liked it. I was probably a bit higher, but then, as I said, it did upset me seeing Jay Lethal lose to a weakened Sammy. I don't mind him losing, but to a weakened Sammy, I don't like that. So 7.25, which I think is kind of right where you lot are, actually. I enjoyed this Dynamite. I enjoyed it. Monica, we missed you. Austin says, bully days. Those are Kanye pest prices, says Jim Gore. AEW would go broke after all those shirts sell. I know. Well, you just priced yourself out the market. $100 is a bit steep. No, I was joking. I told you I'd make it as cheap as possible. I want this. I want everyone in the world to have one. I don't care if we don't make any money out of it whatsoever. Hayden said, same score. Same score. Fake Jay Lethal fan, says Austin. God, it's so hard to know why I pick on you, Austin, isn't it? So hard to know why you're the person that keeps getting the rough end of the stick from me. It's difficult to pinpoint why, isn't it, Austin? Sammy should drop the belt back to Miro. He is cutting promos on God. I repeat, he is cutting promos on God, says Minty Ice. Well, that's true. That's true. That is next level stuff, isn't it? I mean, that's... Honestly, I can't beat that merch. I can't beat it. And having Monica around as well is lovely. Tonight on Austin Changes His Rating. Tonight on Austin Changes His Rating. The Wrestling Day stock market will crash through the roof. Sonny, shout out to you. Austin, shout out to you. Yeah, I don't know when to end the poll, to be honest. If Lethal hit the lethal injection on Sammy, it would have been over, says Jim. It would have been over. Call Jennifer Austin. Sell Jennifer Austin. She's not going to be happy. What? You need to bump it back to 7.5 with the Serena Deeb involvement. I've factored that in. Oh, don't worry. Serena Deeb's in there. Don't you worry about that. As soon as we saw Deeb, we were the score was going to be a handsome number. Don't you worry about that. We might as well end the poll. Here we go. Monica should take over your channel. Yes, sir. I would be fine with that. Yeah, there we go. 7,775, 45%. 8 to 10, 30%. 6 to 6, 7, 5, 15. Only 8% of people said 575 or below. So, see, I mean, I like this score because it feels realistic. I don't feel this was an 8 to 10 show. Equally, this was not, for me, 6 or below. So, it seems like nearly 50% of people have gone 7 to 775. So, likes it. Days, what's your thoughts on God? Listen, I'm sure he's a great guy. And hopefully he's keeping a place in heaven for me, especially for me, and all of you. Hopefully he's going to let us all in. That's what I want. Yeah, that's what I want. And if he doesn't exist, then we ain't lost anything, have we? That's how I feel about it. You know, edge your bets. Hi, Monica, says Robert. Robert, Love Heart by Monica. This is nice. This is too nice, in a way. Do you know what I mean? We're not used to this. This is turning into a community loving. Which I'm fine. I'm allowing because it's Monica. I'm fine with that, but I'm just saying. You're not going to go to heaven, you bully, says Austin. You just don't stop, do you, Austin? You don't know when to stop. Straight to hell, says Brian. Joking, says Austin. Joking. Monica, good night. Don't be a stranger. Don't be a lurker. It's weird. Don't be like Austin. I don't know what one to go for. Austin sucks or Don't Be Like Austin. They're both really... Maybe I'll go both. Don't know. Do a 2 for the price of 1 kind of a deal. We'll have a look at it. Right, guys, we are done. Thanks a lot for watching. I hope you had fun. I hope you enjoyed the show. And hopefully I'll see you again next time. Bye for now.